Testing, testing, testing. Because there's a delay, I can't get instant gratification for someone to say.
Yeah, it's in there now.
There's audio.
Yay! Oh my god.
Yay! Oh,
Let's go.
But now I have to. I have to figure out how to mute this for me. Which is why I think that was turned off in the first place. Now I have to think. How do we
mute the video? I mean, mute the YouTube channel yourself.
Oh, duh. Oh my god. Where's the... Oh, I'll just do the mute right here. Okay, so now can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, and then for you guys, I have to hear you here. All right, I'm trying to connect it to my... Okay, so now I'm hearing... So why am I hearing YouTube? Oh. Oh, that was that button that I never knew existed before. Okay, now I get it. So I was able to hear real-time YouTube. Now it makes sense. Okay, so try saying something again. Yes. Oh my god, I want to cry. You guys are calm under pressure. I was like going crazy, and y'all are just chilling. Okay, he said it's still waiting on YouTube. So... Oh my god. I'm telling you, this is like a perfect demonstration of why we need men, because I'm getting frazzled. I'm like, oh no, poor people. I cannot believe you guys are still here. 33 people. That's insane. 33 people stuck around for that. Okay, so I'm going to officially... You commented on that, the other one, right? And told people that it's... Okay, so I'm going to just shut that one off so that it's not confusing for people anymore. So let me go ahead and delete this, and then YouTube's going to be like, are you sure? Okay, Lord Jesus. I understand deleting it is permanent. Okay, yes, that's okay. Delete forever. Whew. All right, so we should be good now. Okay, you guys, can we just have a quick reset? Like, let me know your city and state that you're watching from. My goodness, the fact that you guys stuck around. Seriously, that's like amazing. That's incredible. We actually have Cam, who's finally able to get in. Let me get my screen together, y'all. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're not chopping everybody's heads off. Okay. All right, that should be a little better. Welcome, Cam. I swear. I need a beverage. I need an adult beverage at this point. My nerves are so bad, but seriously, y'all held me together. Nubian King, go ahead and go back in to YouTube. Now you'll just see one live stream. It won't be confusing. My God, my God. Oh my God. Okay, child. My nerves are bad. All right, so we have Congress Heights, Washington, D.C. Welcome, Kenny. We got Jacksonville, Florida in the house. Welcome, Blondie. We got, is it Terramac? I'm going to go with Terramac, Florida. Lisa, welcome, welcome. And a major kudos to the guys for staying calm. Y'all are amazing. We have like 20 minutes left. We'll see if we go a little bit over because y'all worked so hard to be here. So resetting. These are the guys, some of the men who have said, we will commit to doing every single day a review, because there are over 600 guys, but of course not every single guy does a review every single day. These guys said, I will step up and make sure at the very least the women will get like 15. So if you guys see 15, you know all these guys did their job. So I'm going to go back to asking the question that I did. What is the toughest part of doing reviews for y'all? Mm-hmm. No. I can hear you. Oh, so me doing that thing made him turn off? Okay, I have to remember what I did though. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. What did I click last? It was it in settings? Let me go back here. Oh my God. Go back to audio. Okay. I was like out of my life right now. Okay, so the microphone. Oh, so they're gonna hear it vaguely if I turn on the speaker. Let me go back to here. Hold on. Okay, one of you could say something real quick.
You hear me say PA. Type PA in the chat on YouTube. PA.
There you go. And then I'm going to play with this if I could see.
Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear him. Put a 2 up a chant if you can.
They can hear me.
Yes! Okay, so the sound might not be the best because it's just picking it up through my microphone. Y'all, I can't deal. So I'm going to have a techie person look at this and figure out what the actual things are supposed to be, because that's just confusing. Okay. For a third time, sir. I shouldn't even ask you what's hard about doing reviews. I should be like, what's hard about being on my YouTube show?
No, it's totally fine. Yeah, totally fine.
Okay. They said the sound is good. All right. They can hear you. I think this is the last time we're going to do it. Okay, y'all.
All right. Whoopsa. Let's take a breath. All right. So, for those of you who can hear me now, the question was, what is the hardest thing about doing profile reviews? And for me, the hardest thing, it can be hard, but it can be kind of easy as well. But it's just face value. You know, you don't know the person. They're a complete stranger. So you're just going on a whim on what they see and on their pictures and how they're expressing themselves and what they wear and what they do. And you have to be kind of good at reading energies. And I can't speak for all the guys, but for me, I tend to be a good judge of character. So if I see a woman wearing certain things, or if her hair is a certain way, I can say, oh, this person has a natural energy, very down to earth, welcoming and all that good stuff. So I can pick that up. But there's some guys that may, and it may be wrong to that other person, because I could say, oh, she has a pretty smile, she has a down to earth personality, but then they can look at that and be like, I am completely opposite of that. You know what I mean? So it's just going on face value, but you just got to be good at reading energy. That's all, from my point of view.
I appreciate that. And I realized, by the way, thank you, Willie. Oh my God, he's going to donate $1 for every like. So please like the live. So you guys, I figure I may as well back up. I'm just talking like everybody just follows everything and keeps up with everything. So let me just give you a quick backstory to what these reviews are that he is talking about, okay? So, and they're saying they can't hear me now. Wait a minute. Wait, don't say that. Don't say that. One person said that. Can everybody not hear me?
Yeah, we can do
Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay. I hope everyone else can hear me. Okay. Oh, she says she can hear. Okay.
You good on the tube, Beyonce. You good on the tube.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we had, bless their hearts, a bunch of women who accidentally kept voting on polls. So in my stories, I would put polls so they could ask guys questions. That's how I got my whole career started, by just me as a person asking men, what they think. So I said, well, I'll continue this on in my Instagram. So I would ask the men questions, and then miraculously the women would all accidentally vote. And when you vote on a poll on Instagram, you could see the poll results. So some people said, well, they probably just wanted to see the results. However, the way that percentages go, if you have incorrect data in a poll, it is going to skew the numbers. So if 3 women vote, 4 women vote, it's going to absolutely skew the data. And we as women want to hear what the men are saying, not what other women are saying. So it just kept ruining it for everyone. And, a lot of people were really kind and saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, whatever. At the end of the day, it still was skewing the data, and it was making me go crazy. So I had a temper tantrum. I shut down. I was like, I'm not doing polls anymore. And then, ding, light bulb went off, and I said, I am going to create an entirely different page, make it private, and then I can ask the guys whatever I want there, and the rest is history. Okay? So that's what had happened. And by the way, if you can't hear on Instagram, that's because God wants you to join me on YouTube. So go to YouTube. Okay? Go to YouTube. So they're saying they can't hear on YouTube. I mean on Instagram. So that's how we got here. And then it's a little bit more fun because now I can do whole posts and you guys can comment and give context. A lot of times you want to give context to the poll and you couldn't. So that was really cool. Okay, she said I was dumbfounded you even had to do all that. I know. But the cool thing is it was a blessing in disguise because it has opened up so many opportunities. So what started happening was, I don't know where this idea came from, but I started allowing the men to be able to review profiles. So what I would do is a woman would say, I want my profile reviewed. I would put her link to her page, and then the guys would go in and assess it, and we would do it anonymously so they didn't have to feel uncomfortable. And I just asked them, be honest, but be kind. Don't just, they want the truth, but you don't have to be mean and nasty about it. One guy didn't understand, and he was using it like a dating app, and he was like, pass. Yeah, I'd hit that. Like, no, that's not what we're doing. That's not in any way what it was designed for. But a lot of the other guys did know. And like I said, after a while, it became like homework because it was like 3 a day, every single day, 7 days a week. And then I said, how many of you guys would be willing to do this every single day? And these are some of the men who stood up. And I think there were like maybe 15 to 20 that said they would do it. So you guys give a golf clap. This is what we do in my group classes. Give a golf clap to these men because this is amazing. I don't know if I would have the patience to do it. And I keep saying I'm probably going to shut it off after the next couple of days because I don't want to burn them out. But as of yesterday, majority were saying keep going. She said, yes, the guys are respectful and kind on my review. Thank you. Nice. How many of you in the comments had a review? It would be interesting to see. I see a lot of names. I don't want to bust anybody out who doesn't want to be known. And also, there is something called the singles feature. I had somebody post up tonight, and the men were like, thank you, Yahtzee. Did y'all see the post for today? They were like, you're doing the Lord's work. So she's watching. Shout out to you, ma'am. But you can get your picture posted. So there's just a bunch of posts, me, text, and then bing, there's a lady. So if you want to stand out, you can. She said, I want to do a review, but I have 0 pictures of myself on IG. Oh my goodness. You can still send a photo and just do a single feature. But that's what it is. So if you were not caught up, now you are. And I'm going to move on. Does anyone else want to share what is difficult about doing either reviews or daily reviews?
I don't think anything's difficult about them. It's just an Instagram profile, so it's not very. There's not really a lot to go on. Most people aren't even skilled in building a profile on Instagram just for themselves that will communicate, whatever about themselves. So for them to put themselves under the microscope it can make it go bad. A lot of pretty women post pictures of themselves. A lot of to the left of those pretty women post pictures of funny things and inspirational stuff, and you'll see more of their personality. But I mean, at a glance, I think that most men would be remiss if they say that they can judge someone's character or personality via a Facebook page or excuse me, an Instagram page.
Yeah. We have another one of the guys who's trying to come in. So everybody who is part of this group, the group that said that they would do the daily reviews, I have emailed you all the link to Zoom. So go ahead and log in and you can join us. Go ahead. Yes. You guys don't have to wait your turn. It's just so small. You can
okay. We could just butt in.
You could
I
just
just want to be
throw
respectful.
that elbow. No, I appreciate that. Just throw that elbow in and jump on in.
Got you. I'm gonna do it Shawn Michaels style. Anyway, what if there's any challenge I would say that gets in the way? Like me, I'm a very on the go person, and it's hard to just sit down and find time because not only do I have a job, I go to school too. So that's one challenge I've been struggling with, and another thing I've been struggling with is like sometimes the women have too little to show. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that's
How about the lady who had 2 posts? Y'all remember that one? I don't look at it beforehand. So when I went to put it up, I was like, and then everyone's hitting me up like, y'all see what the heck? I'm like, I don't know.
And like
that's somebody's fake page. She used that page to find a dude, the lady who her boyfriend was cheating on her with. That's why that page is so barren. Oh, like that's just a page she used to go find dirt and be nosy. Look at people's stories anonymously. You're a grown woman with two following 3,000 people, got 2 posts, and then have 10 followers. That's fake.
I was just gonna say, but like, what? It just seems like a waste to get a review for what? Like, you can't. There's nothing to review. Oh my god! I'm sorry to jump in. I just had to say that. That was wild.
But yeah, like that too little to post, and then like I also look at space in between posts. But if they put on their story, I give them a bit of grace. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Other than that, the reading the vibes, reading the energy of what they put out, that's fine. Like me, I'm the first guy, like being a Gen Z, and you know how we love to look at booty on Instagram. I'm looking for those. Okay? I'm looking for those first. And if I check you out and you clean, you get a high rating. You know what I'm saying? It's dependent if I see too much. If I see too much skin on your profile, that's questionable.
Oh my god. So
throw a little skin. That would be nice. But not that much skin.
Too funny. So we had someone, according to my conspiracy theory, I think we had someone try to infiltrate the other day. I don't want to give too much away so you guys don't see what my tactics are. But everyone's like, oh, women are going to try to infiltrate. My spidey senses are pretty tingly when it comes to this stuff. And I'll just say this. If you are a man and I ask you questions verifying your gender, nothing graphic because that just sounded very, like that could have taken a couple of ways. I was like, no exams. I have my ways. Do not be annoyed. Don't think I'm doing the most because it's my job to make sure we are not infiltrated. I have had people tell me stories of being approached by women and crazy things like that. I won't go into detail to protect privacy, but ladies, it's crazy out here. It's crazy, okay? And I love the safe space where men can share what they want to share. He said too nosy. Goodness gracious. Anything else? Any funny stories? You guys want to share any funny stories before we move on? Anything that tickled you or confused you or while you're doing any reviews?
They say that men don't know how to take pictures. It's not a default skill that women have either.
I cannot. So speaking of, there was a little hint that he gave about, Maverick gave about what men look for, but I am breaking down all of this stuff. I actually wrote an ebook 9 years. 9 years ago was one of the first things I wrote. And I'm telling you, the stuff that the guys comment on completely backs up everything in the ebook, which just means men are consistent. because I got the information for the ebook from men all that time ago. I guess Instagram just said, "You're done, ma'am." It just shut me off. So that, anyway, they should be coming over here anyway. And so, ladies, if you want to get the cheat code, if you want to know how to put your best foot forward, and again, this isn't about faking the funk. It's not about pretending to be something that you're not. It's about understanding what different things mean to men. Just like with them, there are certain connotations that we have. But understand what they're looking for, what's a red flag, and also what is a problem that's omitted so that you can add that so that they have the information they need to make a decision. If you want to come to the class, it is tomorrow. It is on Zoom. I promise you we will not have these technical issues like we had on YouTube. But just go ahead and click the link in my story to register. And if you don't want to wait, because when I'm not live on Instagram. Yeah, you can click the link in my story now and the information is there. It's Thursday class, what men look for. What have you guys thought about being a part of Yonsternation? Being able to speak freely and not have any women commenting on the post where it says, "Guys, what do you think about this?"
Yeah, I think, and this is from me personally, I think we need more of those because, of course, yes, us guys, like we go to the barbershop, we go to sporting events, we go to, manly things, quote unquote, and there's no problem with that, but on Instagram, navigating the throes of social media can be difficult because you can say one thing and you can get canceled. You know what I'm saying? You can put yourself out there with good intentions, and then all of a sudden, bam, things happen. And then also, there have been a bunch of stories about guys who would, just live life and do good things, and then get falsely accused of something, and then his whole life is completely shattered. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's acquitted, even if he's found not guilty, you know what I'm saying? People still look at him as like, oh, well, he might have been found not guilty, but it still happened. You know what I'm saying? That gaslighting BS. So it's good to have a space where it's just us guys and we can talk about whatever we want to talk about, and it's a safe space. And personally, I haven't had any issues with it, and in fact, I appreciate it because it's like, there may be guys who disagree with me, but I can learn from their perspective as well.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was gonna say it ruffled someone's feathers. One of the women were saying, "Why don't we get a private page?" But the irony is that the private page was actually not private for men to be private. It was private to keep the women from interacting. So I don't have to make my Chasing Yahtzee page private because the men, for the most part, stay away when I say women. What do you think? And speaking of posts that say women, what do you think? We had a little incident. It was pretty funny that some of the guys, I saw two men commenting on a post made for women. I don't typically ask the women what they think, so the women are all excited to answer. And y'all got him together. Gathered him, collected him, and got him together. Did you guys see that post?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, poor guy.
I haven't seen him. I ain't been
You're
on
muted,
IG all day since I woke up. So.
Oh
He
my.
blocked me, so it didn't take long.
You said what?
He blocked me, so.
Oh my God. He was eating up a lot. But I do appreciate the accountability that the men took, saying, look, we get on the women for this. We can't be doing this. And, you just gotta back down at that point when you're called out, right? That was pretty funny. What is something that you think, we'll give a little free game tonight. What do you think that women don't understand about their Instagram page that they really should? I'm going to try to keep it as vague as possible so I can leave it open for you guys. What should women know about their Instagram pages or what they're projecting that it's clear that they don't understand?
I would say, most of them are unaware of, they could be a whole entirely different person, off of there. You know what I'm saying? And they present themselves in a way that either either they don't match up with it in real life, or they want to project their real life image but have trouble expressing it. I think they're often unaware to where this post is very from this post, or you're sharing this meme, you're sharing that meme, you're posting this, you're posting that. Women are often unaware of, how we are apt to catch on to a behavior tendency on there. You know what I'm saying? And from there we can measure, you're this kind of person on these kind of days, and then on this day you're this kind of person. What we look for primarily is consistency. That's all we look for. And most times women are often unaware of, the image that, either true or not, that they put off when they're on there. They're unaware of that.
And I like that you said true or not, because some people get defensive. If 10 out of 10 men are getting this perception, sometimes I'll get the defensive, but that's not who I am. But it's
Right.
like, this is the point of the exercise. You don't get a chance. You don't even know who is passing you by to go back and be like, excuse me, that's not what that means. You don't even know that. So I think this is an amazing...
Context, too. Another thing, you got to watch that context when you put it out there, too.
Yeah, especially if you're having a mood, you're in a mood, your feelings, and you start posting. Men notice that.
Yeah, like, I didn't know that you were posting that ex-boyfriend meme while you were sitting, listening to Keisha Cole eating some ice cream.
How about private pages, y'all? I hate this. When I laugh for real, it makes my nose run. I hate that. Okay, what do you guys think about private pages? I'll give you my opinion and I'll let you guys jump in there, okay? Don't forget to unmute yourself, Cam. So I say, if a guy tried to holler at me, obviously they don't need to holler at me now, so I'm all the way off the market. But when I was available and someone tried to holler at me from a private page, I equated it to walking down the street and there being a tall wall, like, a backyard wall or a bush, and hearing, hey, yo, hey, I think you're beautiful. And you're like, thank you. Like, it's just weird. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't call out to someone from behind a wall in real life. So why would you call out to somebody in a private... that's my take. I don't understand. So what are you guys' thoughts? I know Cam was trying to say something, but...
If she's single...
You gotta unmute yourself, Cam.
If she's single, her page probably, I would... If I'm looking at a lady and her page is private or public, I'm not really caring because I don't know her. So, man, if I saw her comment on something and if I was the type to, shoot shots that way, I mean, it really wouldn't change anything, but I think in a relationship, a woman's page should be private. I mean, because then that's when you're restricting access to people that friends, family, whatever. And a lot of women who their pages are public, they post things for public pages as if they're still available, or, marketing. And then, like my buddy said, the girls who are going through breakups, their pages and all the subliminal stories, they'll make their page public so whoever they want to see those posts can see them, as if we men, care or check after,
I saw a funny video about that where they said, when they post this big rant, they said this is how the woman imagines the guy who did her wrong is reading, like, oh gosh, I hurt her that deeply. Let me change my ways. I should have laughed at that. What were you going to say, Cam?
It's true, though. I will say this. I have had an experience, and just for women, is that you really have to pay attention to your IG post, because it's like one of the only digital footprints that we get that's probably the most organic thing that we'll see. Because I went on I found a girl on Instagram and we were kicking it and talking, and like we went out to Hawaii. Like there was a whole thing that happened off of Instagram. So things happen. So that's one thing. The private thing, if you have a private page, I'm thinking there's a reason that you have a private page. So you're either on BS, you don't want everybody to see, which we talked about, I think, briefly a couple weeks ago. I think that you're a really private and reclusive person, which means like maybe you really don't want to talk to somebody, and I'm not going to really like go out of my way to like holler at you. But I just feel like, why have a private page if you're trying to access or give access to other people? Because you don't run into a lot of people nowadays, like in the everyday world. So I don't understand how you go to work for 40, 50 hours a week, you take care of your kids, you do all this other kind of stuff. When am I going to bump into you?
Yeah. And we are very to and fro people, and especially when we're out of our cars, we tend to be on our phones anyway, so we're not really up and looking. Now, this is a great question, and I will say a lot of women have asked me this. So Amanda says, what if for women and men who service the public for work, and that's the reason their page is private, how do we go about that? So I've had a teacher say that, I've had a social worker say that, and saying like they want to keep a line between public and private. I have my advice for that, but I'll let one of you go first before I give my advice for that. So does anyone want to touch that?
It's for their job. That's common sense.
It is.
If your page is public because of your private because of your job, if it was my sister or daughter, I would tell her that if a man faulted you for your page being private after he knew it's for your job, then he's probably on some mess, and just go ahead and let him be insecure by himself, because that's a silly thing to penalize a woman for. If you're an attorney, a doctor, you work at CPS, which those people get death threats, or you work for any sort of public-facing company, you don't want your social media to be public. One, for weirdos, and then two, for your coworkers. Like, there's memes talking about guys like, I'm a whole ass gangster. You know what I'm saying? From 5 to 9, but from 9 to 5, I don't want y'all seeing me out here, smoking cigars and, gangbanging with my friends. So, they try to keep that Chinese wall between, their work life and then their personal life. I don't see an issue with that.
So for me, it's not, speaking for myself, I don't see it as something to penalize a person, but from a male-female perspective, I'm not responding to somebody who I can't see their page. Because for me, it's awkward if I have to send you a request to peep your page, and then I peep your page and it's an instant no for me. Now that's awkward. I'm going to unfollow you, and then I got to deal with your DM. Like, did you unfollow me? Like, that's just awkward. I'd rather know that I don't find you attractive and move on in silence and not have you know than to go through all this steps. Like, that's just awkward. But I totally get somebody having a page.
I'm going to counter you that, Yancy, because we've had discussion, outside of this. Now, I will say my page is private for personal reasons, because I'm, especially over the last couple of years, because I took all of 2022 off social media to kind of diffuse, right? And I don't want everybody all in my business. And I do work in a public space, outside of my job. And I don't typically reveal, where I work or post about what I do at work or everything like that, unless you're like my close, people.
Yeah.
In the single spectrum, my page is private because I want to be able to date with intention. That's why if I get a follow request from some random person I don't know, I can look at their profile and be like, oh yeah, she's beautiful and everything. And then you as a woman can still message me on Instagram and be like, hey, I saw your profile, I want to follow you. And I'm like, all right, why do you want to follow me? Like, why, what is it about your energy that you think will translate to me? That's why I'm intentional. That's why I told you, look, state your intentions. Like, why do you want to be in my space? Like, why? What is it about your energy that you think, can be good to me?
Okay, so I got to ask the ladies this really quick. If a man said to you, state your intentions, how would you respond?
I want to be open, and I want to be private. I want to be public and everything like that. But it's like, you know what? I ain't trying to have everybody follow me. I'm not trying to have a whole bunch of bots and FX trading people and all that. I ain't trying to do that. So that feeds out a lot of that, personally, And I've been on other public platforms. I got a couple of videos on the Skin Deep. People have saw it. People have messaged me and all that good shit. And I'm okay with you messaging me, because you don't have to follow a person to message them. And that's the beautiful thing. And now Instagram, they've kind of worked on that a little bit. So you can send a message, right? But it'll go straight to request for, whereas back in the days, like 5-6 years ago, you can just DM somebody, no problem. But, going through what I've gone through the last decade, I'm really keen on, is this the right person that I want to follow? I'm really keen on, maybe it's good that I don't have 1,000 followers. It's a good thing that I don't, have all this, because I don't need to go viral. I don't want to go viral. Social media is for my friends, my family, close people, and I'm connected with a bunch of organizations. Shout out to Black Men Heal, shout out to Express Yourself Black Men, saying I need that energy around me. You know what I'm saying? And of course, people are going to disagree with me, and you can disagree with me, but don't attack me for it. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be willing to have respectful discourse. And I know that's kind of a little bit off subject here, but again, that's my reasoning. I want you to be like, all right, I'm in your space. I want you to talk to me. I want you to be able to, communicate, because I'm all about communication. If you can't talk to me, you can't be with me. If I ask you a question, I want an answer straight up, because I'm straight up. That's just me. I can't speak for all the guys in here, and I can't speak for all the guys on YouTube and all those. I know they're probably thrashing me in the chat right now, but I don't care. This is me, okay?
So I gotta ask
So
the ladies.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, really quick. Just ladies, if you can answer this in the comments while Cam was talking. If you slid into a DM and the guy said, "State your business. What do you want with me?" How would you respond, or would you respond? Okay, go ahead, sir.
So, say it again?
I was asking, honestly, if she was talking to me or you, but.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, he was trying to speak for a little while, so I was just letting him go. But jump in right after he's done.
Oh, yeah. So I was saying, as a piece of advice, I would give to a woman, because it seems like, for the most part, women are trying to be sought out by, that type of man, like by a man that they feel is quality. I would just give as many opportunities, seeing, like you said, that we were constantly in our phones and those kind of things. And there are I have clients that I manage on social media, and they usually have 2 pages. They'll have close friends. They'll have they have different things that they can do in order to kind of like, if you would like to keep things more. I do nonprofit work, so I do like a lot of human service, social service work, and all that kind of stuff. My clients, if I really want to have a page just for my family to see stuff, I have another page, and
I
that's
have the same thing.
paid. Exactly, and if you have. I have my regular page, which I'm on 90% of the time. That's the one that you guys see. But as far as like, there's ways to separate things and still keep yourself accessible, especially if you need to be accessible as a woman. I would imagine if I was in your shoes, I'm trying to have as many men look at me to be able to find a potential suitor.
Yes.
I would keep open. And if you want to have something very personal and intimate, then just make another page.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't play with my kids on social media. So for, friends and family, I'll post on my private page. And it is like, you have to know me. Some people came across it and they requested, and you're not getting in. Because that's all it is for. I don't want, be worrying about if someone could figure out where I live based on my pictures and stuff. So I get that part. I agree with you as far as the irons in the fire. They put as many irons in the fire as you can. Yes, sir. I thought you were throwing at Westside, and then I just realized there was Tupac behind you.
No. This is Pac, everybody. Can y'all see him?
I see him.
Long live the GOAT. That's Pac, not me. But yeah, what I was going to say is that about somebody having a private or public page. I mean, I'm indifferent to the whole idea. It's just about what I see as soon as I get you. That's what really counts. Like, everybody's got their own reasons, and not everybody's willing to open up and share, especially when you first meet somebody. But I have a feeling, the more comfortable you get with somebody like me, you're going to eventually tell me why you keep it private. You know what I'm saying? Because, not to bring my favorite to this, but God has a funny way of revealing everything to me about a person. You know what I'm saying? If you pay attention to them enough, so if you have, let me try to clean it up, because this is YouTube. If you have something that, God wouldn't find pleasant on your page, I'm going to find out about it.
Oh.
I see it out here while I'm out in public with you, or I see it on the media when I follow you back. So that's why I say I'm indifferent, because everybody got their own reasons why they keep everything private. Me, everything is public, because unlike most people, I try to be careful what I put out there on social media, because I'm actually trying to grow a page. I'm actually trying to get a following. I just passed 1.5K here on YouTube, and I'm passing 1K on Instagram as we know it. So.
And that's not easy on YouTube.
It is not. Yeah. The thing about YouTube is just the consistency and willingness to share and finding that time for it. Like I said, I'm a busy person, and I'm trying to maintain the ship that I built. So that way, post-retirement, I can just do this all day,
I heard that. I got to say this for the ladies, okay? Sometimes ladies can be a bit delulu. Are we allowed to say?
The Lulu is not the Solulu.
In that there is this unrealistic expectation that a man is going to be so drawn to your personality that the other stuff doesn't matter. There is somebody who always talks about physical attraction and, you know, what part it plays, and would you give someone a chance if they, you know, you didn't find them attractive. And it's just one of those things in life. There's a very small group of people who can truly just not care at all about what the person looks like. I've seen love stories. But the majority of people want to first find you attractive. That's the first door. And then after they find you attractive, in order to maintain their interest, they have to like your personality. It doesn't go, personality is so banging that I suddenly like you. It can't swing a pendulum like really, really far. It might bump you up. Your personality might bump your looks up in their eyes a degree, maybe two, but it's not taking you from I don't find you attractive at all to I want you to be my lady. So
Yancy.
Yeah.
You just made me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you just made me think of a saying I always say. I always say this when it comes to a man's attraction to a woman. Looks will get your foot in the door, but how you act around me and how you act towards me is what determines your stay in the house.
Absolutely. And I see with...
That lays out perfectly as to why I'm very intentional. That's why I say, hey, state your intentions. You know, tell me what you want. You know, you can look good and everything like that, but you can message me. I want to see how you communicate. You know, I want to see it. Like, tell me about yourself. Which a lot of women be like, oh, that's a red flag. Or you tell me about yourself. Like, tell me about you because you know you better than I do. Yeah, you look good, but are you willing to look at me in the eye and say no? You know, saying, are you willing to say, hey, you know, I want to get to know you a little bit more. I would like to connect with you. I would like to build with you and everything like that. If you can't say those things, you're not for me. Because I saw a couple of ladies in chat saying, oh, you wouldn't respond, then you're not willing to talk. You know, that tells me a lot about you right there.
But see, let me play devil's advocate on this.
Good Lord.
There are certain levels of expectations on both ways that, to me, are unrealistic until you broach a certain portion of the relationship. So let's just say I'm looking at Cam, so use it as an example. If Cam and I interacted, let's say the very first day, I can't expect him to call me every single day or do certain things because we just barely spoke. There's a level to which he can't expect things of me. Now, if we're 3 weeks into it and he goes missing a day, then I can be like, Cam, what's up with that? You know, we talk every day. So there are levels to the expectations, and I personally don't think that it's realistic the way that you're looking. So this isn't me knocking your way. I just don't think it's realistic. So if a guy that I can't see his pictures, I can't see his page to know what you post. For all I know, you could be posting pictures with a stack of money to your ear and clubbing photos and cursing. I don't know what's on your page. So I'm not going to be invested enough at this point to then have that conversation. Now, if we've talked, I find you attractive. I know that. I have something that's interesting to me. And then you say, hey, what are you looking for? By all means, I'm going to open up and give you a whole monologue. But I don't think, I think that there is a disconnect in what's realistic. And the reason I'm saying that is out of compassion, because it's like somebody saying, I want to be a president. Okay, that's great. But the reality is that's a very small a small chance of that happening. Not to kill dreams, but you might want to also have a backup plan and go to college and whatever.
Agreed. And there's, again, I totally agree with what you're saying, but we live in a time where, you know, women will complain about guys not being upfront and not doing the things and all that good stuff. So it's like, okay, you're complaining about what we're not doing. Why not you do the same thing? You know,
because there has to be a hook.
Request, and you can DM me, and I can respond. And I can be like, all right, well, what do you want? You know, what do you want? What
Can I interject for a 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't think that's possible for a lot of women because they're not overt and direct like we are, brother.
And that's a sad reality, because how can
they
you
communicate on
about not us being upfront, but then you can give all the signs and all that extra stuff. Like, I ain't trying to do all that.
But I don't think it's about authenticity or being upfront. I think it's about just social decorum. There are just, like, if I walked up to somebody and I said, "Hey, tell me your life story," that could be very off-putting. Versus if I
want your life story.
No, I was making a comparison. I'm saying there are levels to which people progress. So if somebody just sends a chat, I think they're going to find it off-putting, because if someone says, like, "What do you want?" or "What are you here for?" that could make a person feel defensive. It's like just like a social thing. And so somebody who's very open and very transparent and able to talk, I don't think that's a good judge of whether or not they're open and ready to talk, because I think it's just off-putting. Like, if someone comes to my door and I say, "What do you want?" and they're really there to just bring me a basket of goodies so I'll just move to the neighborhood, they're probably not going to get a good first impression. But that doesn't mean that they're a bad person. They're just like, "Whoa, who answers the door like that?"
That's super unrealistic.
Socially inept that they do that.
Because as soon as you meet someone, that they're supposed to open up to you and tell you everything about themselves, and then acquiesce to whatever your uncommunicated expectations of them are. That's typically something that men have an issue with women doing to them. Like, we'll go on a date, the date goes well, and now you think I'm supposed to sit here and talk to you all day. I'm supposed to text you, if you don't hear from me in 4 hours, that means that I'm not interested in you. It sounds like that's what you were saying, PA, that if these women aren't, as forthcoming with you from off the rip, like, you're not entitled to that consideration from anybody. And I would say the same thing for them. No woman should be able to expect that from you as a man she just met and is getting to know. You guys don't even have any intentions of being romantic yet. She doesn't know if she likes you. She doesn't know if she doesn't like you. So for you to expect for her to automatically just be on your program just because you DM'd her and now you guys are talking, that's just not realistic. And then for the type of men that can...
Y'all are going too far with it. Y'all are going too...
Hey, I'm gonna let you land. Let me land my plane and you can go, boss. But for the type of men that can command that attention from women, those men don't even do that. They just let those women know, like, "Hey, you have my attention. I'm interested in you. Let's see, find a time we can both get together and talk when it's convenient to both of us." But those unrealistic expectations are going to have you just hurt, upset, and at the end of the day, disappointed, because most women aren't going to do that. They're not going to go for that type of program because most women feel as if they are at a point in their life, if they're single, that they can go get the man they want to. And unless you're that guy, she's not going to jump through any hoops for you.
And as I'm going to add this too, Jacob said, women are already taking a leap of faith as far as DMing a guy, and that shuts them down, in my humble opinion. Now, I'm going to let you speak really quick, but I got to address the craziness that Willie just put in the chat. He said that if we get now I lost your comment. If you get the live to 30, or the likes, I think. Is it the likes to 30? Is that what you're saying?
Get the likes to 30 for a $50 super chat.
He is going to put a $50 super chat. Y'all, mama needs some new shoes. So if you guys can get the likes. Oh, the likes are now at 30. Oh, my goodness. That was quick. And then go ahead, PA. I know you had something you wanted to say. You're patiently waiting.
Now, see,
thank you, Willie.
Y'all are thinking that I'm trying to get their whole life story and get them to spill their guts in front of me. And that's really not the case. Because maybe I am a little off-putting. Maybe I am a little forward. I will gladly give you that. But the reasoning behind this is because I can try to be as calm, as collected, as nice and respectful, and do all that good stuff, but then I would still get the wrong results in the end. Not expecting too much. I don't expect women to answer, everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get all the details. But when I say, "Why are you here?" it's a simple, valid question. Why are you here? Why am I here? You can ask me, why am I here? I am here because I appreciate Yancey's platform. I appreciate Yancey having a safe space for men. I appreciate the guys in the chat. I appreciate you guys. I respect all of you. And I want to be here because I want to share my points of view. That's why I'm here. a simple question. Why are you here? You know, state your intentions. I want to know what you want because I don't want to have my time wasted.
That's the delivery, though, is horrible, boss.
That's what it is. It's the delivery.
Women care about how you phrase things. And then again, Drake can go up to a girl and be like, what's your intention? She's going to tell him everything she wants to know, including her social security number. A regular dude, you can't walk up to a woman and be like, so what are your intentions? That's kind of like what you expect her, like, her.
But women can say, what do you bring to the table?
Of course they can. But that's the thing. We're not equals. That's the point. That's
We're more direct than they are.
We're not equals at all. So you thinking that you can be direct with me, you can be direct with your homeboys, but if you think you can walk to a woman in Walmart that you think is fine, or that, excuse me, or it's a woman who's messaging you think is fine, and be like, hey, what's your intention? You sound like Ronnie from Power, but like super aggressive for no reason.
Lisa,
but then just to prove my point, how has what you've been doing in that regard worked for you lately? Like, what results are you getting from that?
I haven't approached a woman in a while, and that's just me personally.
Why not?
Because, one, women don't give out their numbers hardly any.
They do the men they like.
Bingo.
They don't.
They do. Like, every man up here will tell you.
I got a chick's number like 2 weeks ago.
If women like this, I told what's his name on the post a couple days ago. Like, if women would date men they like, they wouldn't have a problem. If men go after women that like them, we wouldn't have a problem. Because if a woman doesn't give you her number, she doesn't like you.
Okay. That's and I can respect that.
But, so to say that, but then to also be as intransient and say that, well, I'm not going to change my approach. I want to know what your intentions are and what are you here for? Like, I mean, you got to pick a struggle, bro. Are you going to be like, you know, do you want women? If you do, you got to do something to get them, and being aggressive is not going to work.
And it's
you ever heard the phrase, you draw more bees in with honey than you do with dog shit?
And it's also so women say to me all the time, I don't want to waste my time. I want to get married. I want to have kids, and I want to make sure this guy is financially in a financial position to take care of that future family. And so when they come in to date, that's their knee-jerk reaction. Be like, hey, thanks for meeting me. What kind of finances you got? What's your 5-year plan? Do you want kids? How soon do you want kids? And do you want to marry me? And he's like, I don't even know your last name yet. That's the same, like, it's not a problem for her to want that information. It is problematic for her to think she's going to get that information, one, in the first interaction, and two, not turn the guy off. So it's about finesse, as the kids say. Liz K, I think you say it. She said, I think you want to be open-minded, and as a woman, she said, I'm telling you, it is coming off as arrogant and rude. Crystal says perception is everything. The approach is little too forward. Reggie says the approach is aggressive. Someone else says it's super aggressive. Delivery is key, but intention should be stated over time.
I agree with her on that. Like I said, you catch more bees with honey, and like, you know, I come from experience. Like, I pulled in way more girls' numbers and Instagrams and all that by saying, what's a lovely lady like you doing around town? What you doing in my city, huh?
Or it's entitled as a woman that asks a man for money up front. Like, as aggressive as you are, and that's as entitled as that woman is. As soon as she meets you, she has some sort of financial need she expects you to meet. Like, oh, if we want to go on a date, then you need to pay for my babysitter. As batshit crazy as that is to most men, is how women feel if a man walks up to her and is like, so what's your intentions? What are you here for? Like even if, so no disrespect, like say if you went to work and your boss caught you in a room and he asked you, oh, she said $49.99? Oh, but that's in Europe. No, I got to beat that. Anyway, so your boss says, yeah, she did.
I know her.
Your boss says, hey, what are you here for? Like, you're going to be like, what you mean I'm here for, bro? I work here. That's as off-putting as that was coming from him. Imagine a man, a big black man, talking to a woman like that. Like,
that's what my dad said to guys who wanted to date me. What are your intentions with my daughter?
That's perfect, because that's what I would do to my daughter's boyfriend. I'm like, hey, what are you trying to do with my daughter? But I'm going to be direct. Like, don't do nothing to my daughter if you don't want me doing to her. But I'm going to be direct with him because he's a man. You can't be direct with women like that. That's tough. Because, again, the results you get will tell you, like, how effective your methods are. And if you're not getting the results you want, switch it up a little bit.
So I salute that. That's definitely cool. I was just gonna say is that I kind of akin most things to laws of nature. We don't argue with gravity. It's just the way things are, and women want a certain level of interaction in order for us to kind of continue on, like I said, with the social contract where we build things on concentric circles of trust. So once you meet me, you interact with me a couple times, you feel more comfortable with doing more things with me and expressing more and doing more things. It's just a law. Like I walk outside and I go down the stairs, and if I trip, I get mad, but I can't get mad at gravity because it just is a law that exists. And so all of us have to kind of like abide by these laws. And Yancy happens to be a master of understanding some of these laws that exist between men and women in the social contract. So definitely, that's why we plug in. So
I appreciate that.
But again, in my personal interactions with women, I'm not. I mean, I can be like, hey, you know, I want to get your number and everything, but I'm not. I mean, because my thing is, I want to know, like, why? Like, it is what it is.
But can I? Look here.
Can
I ask you a question? One question. The question I have is that she lied, bold-faced lied to you and said, my intentions are everything you wanted to hear. You would have to know her by her fruits. So she could lie to you, but eventually you're going to go through the social contract, get to know her, all that kind of stuff, and she's going to demonstrate to you who she is, because I'm sure it's happened to you before. So to be so direct and not abide by the laws of relationships and interactions wouldn't even give you the opportunity to even know or learn that. So you would have to actually see that. So you can state your intentions, and I can bold-faced lie to you and tell it to you in the best way that I know how to, but it's either going to be, you're going to have to know her by her fruits and by her interactions. That's all everybody's saying. Like that's literally all it comes down to. You just have to abide by the laws.
Yeah, and I hate when women lie like that, because I hate being lied to, and I'm sure we can all agree we all hate being lied to.
A lot of me early.
Been in your shoes, dog.
Yeah, lie to me early, so that way I'm gonna give you the first lie for free. The second one's the one I'm gonna cut you off for.
I don't like lying. You know,
You're gonna find out. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like
everybody lies, though, boss. And a lot of people.
I'm not saying that I don't, and I'm not
lying out of malice. They're lying out of self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you have an outfit on that girl doesn't like. She tells you she does. That's a lie. If she asks you, "Do I look fat in this?" and you say, "No, you don't," that's a lie. When she does, she say, "Hey, do you know what you want to eat?" And she says, "It doesn't matter." And then you pick Red Lobster, and she says, "I don't like Red Lobster." She just lied. Like, so, I mean, lying is part of conversation and just human interaction. And it's not necessarily, it's going to be more so the reason behind it that's the problem, because what happens is now when someone is lied to you about something completely irrelevant, the problem that you have then is you don't trust anything else they say about stuff that's major. So that's why I give them the first, let someone, give women grace, because at the same time, the same way we don't owe women our resources and protection, women don't owe us them saying their truth and their femininity. So we kind of have to ingratiate ourselves with them, and our delivery matters. Because if the first time that you take into account the type of man you are, and I will never judge anyone, but you know if you are him. And what I mean by him is, you know if you're the guy that has success with the women that you want, or if you're not. And that's the only conversation you'll have with yourself. But once you determine where you are on that spectrum, you need to govern yourself accordingly. Because if you don't, then what happens is anytime you have a poor interaction with the woman that doesn't go the way you want to, you'll feel entitled to, well, if I'm him, how come she didn't go for me saying, well, why are you here? And what are your expectations are? So the same way we tell women to be realistic with themselves, we have to set the tone for that and be realistic with ourselves and who we are. Like, and it's, for men, the world tells us we ain't shit if we not, and the world tells us that we are if we are. But you yourself have to be willing to accept that. Like, we've had 1 billion conversations on Yancey's platform about women having unrealistic expectations. A lot of the times, men have unrealistic impressions of themselves and then try to go out and put that costume on in front of the world, but the world sees through that shit, and that's why we end up where we are.
Whew. So, y'all, I want to say thank you so much. Let me go back into your screen name again. Clemmy Baby, thank you so much. I recognize your profile picture from Instagram. Thank you. Very generous. donation that she did on the super chat. So thank you for that. Thank you for starting it up, Willie. I do this full time. Yes, I just said do. I do this full time, and so I appreciate anything that you guys do send in. It is not taken for granted. Thank you so much. Let's get into some more topics. She is just so precious. I'm a sucker for a little baby. Oh my goodness, especially that age. Okay, I'm trying to focus, but she's so cute. Ladies, if you have any questions for the panel, you can type it in the chat. Thank you, Maverick. You can type it in the chat, anything that you would like to ask. It's an interesting thing. I will say this. I remember when I first got back into the dating market after being divorced, and I just thought, man, why can't things just be straightforward? Like, I find you attractive, okay, you find me attractive, you want to go on a date, let's go on a date. There is a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. There's a lot of subconscious, there's a lot of human psychology that goes into effect. And a lot of that is the stuff that I teach, shameless plug, teach in my courses, because so often we can approach dating, a lot of women approach dating with how they wish it would be. I wish I could just do this. I wish I could just do that. And I say, a lot of guys wish they could walk up to you and say, let's go hook up right now. But it's just not that way. Like, I don't want to go through the calling. I don't want to do the texting. I don't want to take you out to eat and pick pictures. I really just want to hit it. But that's just not, that's not the world we live in. And if they want to be successful, they're not going to do that. So with women, you know, we have to get out of the how I wish it would be, and oh, this is complicated, and there are games being played. And I would not call it a game. I would say understanding the laws of nature. Just like you mentioned, Cam, the law of gravity, there are certain laws of nature. Like if I punch someone in the face, I'm probably not going to get a pleasant response. The quicker you are to learn those laws of humanity, like laws of power, there's another book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, you will become so much more successful. Okay, you gonna make me do a little church dance in this studio, Willie. Thank you so not insane. I will not. What do you say, bested? What is bested?
You want me to turn on some Kirk Franklin for you, Yonsi?
Hey.
Every time I look back,
I'll treat this like it's a strip club.
Hey.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, y'all make me have the.
Proud of you.
I cannot. So sometimes we gotta do things just because, you know, it works. You know, it works. There are certain things that we have to do. I was telling my daughter, when she doesn't want to be somewhere, like her face is, you can tell her, she gets hangry, her face is just, and I'm like, you have to remember other people can see you. You know, there's just certain social things that we have to learn about. What else do I want to talk about? What
What you say is no.
Why does travel look so bad?
Why was I just thinking that? You said, why does travel look so bad?
Yeah, when a girl has all the travel posts, you made a whole story about that one.
Yes,
yeah.
I was just thinking if I wanted to save it for my patrons or if I wanted to give it here. But since you said it and I was already thinking about it, we'll do that. And I also was good. No, you're okay. It's okay. So for those of you who don't know, I ask the guys questions. I try to make them juicy. And then they give very juicy answers. And then I post them to my Patreon page. And so I was noticing that when women were submitting their profile, a lot of the reviews were coming back negative when they were traveling a lot or posting things that were expensive items. And so I think I'll come back to that question in a second. If enough people are interested in the comments, I will come back to that question. But the answers that were given, I found very, very interesting. But before we get to that, I want you guys to each give one piece of advice, if you are willing to. What is one piece of advice you could give for women that would make dating a whole lot easier? If you could just...
Date men that like you.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's so true. It's with men too, because the men will say like, oh, why does a woman do this? And it's like, no, that's only a woman who doesn't like you. I mean, so that's, sorry to jump in, Willie, I just got a little caught up, but yes. Everyone knows the sugar daddy's the one snapping the pics.
Alrighty, if I can go, I would say make sure your profile is clean. You know, I mean, if you wanna show yourself having a little fun in the summer sun, you know, that's cool and things. You know what I'm saying? But don't make that your whole identity. Just you wearing, showing all that skin. Don't make that your whole identity. And then another thing is, you know, actually spend time with guys before y'all jump the boats. Actually spend time with them, you know, because like I said before, people will show their true intentions the longer that, you know, you get to know them. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I'm letting the good people on Instagram know to come to YouTube. It's lit over here, y'all.
Yeah, the tea is spicy. The tea is spicy. But yeah, keep a profile clean. You know, vet your guys, and you know, don't be you know, don't always reduce his value to just dollar amounts, man. See him for what he truly is.
Say that again.
Don't look at him for his dollar value, because real men hate being treated like ATMs. The only guys that like being treated like ATMs are, let me put my mic on for this, rich simps.
Oh, you sounded like what was that super famous radio jock with the long curly hair?
Howard Stern?
Yeah, he sounded just like Howard Stern when you put it close to your mouth like that. It was funny.
I don't know, man, because if a man has money, I think that we kind of like being able to have that as our superpower to go along with everything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool and everything, but like, you know, you shouldn't be leading with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, pay for everything on the date. That's cool with me, but like,
wait,
you know.
So question, when you say don't lead with it, no, like my counter to that is always this. You lead with what the person you want wants. Women want men who will protect and provide. So I either got to put a Batman costume on and beat up criminals, or be Bruce Wayne and pay for everything.
Okay.
So if they want to do both, how do I pick which one? How would you expect a man to pick? Because we're going to lead with what gets us the job. You go apply for a job, you put on your resume your relevant and pertinent experience that will get you that position. It's the same thing with women and men. If a woman is looking for someone, which, no disrespect, ladies, I think almost all do, want someone who can protect and provide for them, ease burdens, change tires, you know, raise kids, be a family man.
Change a tire.
You know, all of that manly adult stuff that all human adults should be able to do.
Yeah.
That if I leave with that, like, baby, I got the AAA, I got this fire-ass insurance, talk about $0 deductibles, you know what I'm saying, 100, no 50-50, and, you know what I'm saying, I can choke somebody out if I have to. Like, and women will come back with the same thing. I'm feminine, I'm nice, I'm kind, I can cook. You see what I'm holding back there, and I don't have any kids, or I have 2 kids and I'm a great mother. So like, people are gonna lead with what the other people want all the time. So I don't think that it's a very, very good idea to tell men not to lead with money for those of them that have it. Because
what I was referring to though, boss, is like, you know, don't go all out and like, you know, take them to like high-end restaurants that you know your ass can't freaking afford. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane in terms of what money can give you.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
And her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And her.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because if a woman leads with what she knows men want, which is physical intimacy a lot of times, and if a man leads with money, which is what a lot of women want, my concern, this would be as a friend or a coach, I would be concerned about the person not caring about their soul. So
yes. That's what I was getting at.
I would be worried that guy is just looking to get laid and the woman is looking to get paid. I didn't even mean to make it.
That's why I say spend time with people.
He wants to get laid consistently, so he's going to continue to do what it takes to keep access to her vagina. And she's going to want to provide it for
That's what every spooky does.
She's probably still going to do what it takes to make him want the access to her vagina, so they both kind of end up in the same place.
Hey, water seeks its own level, Beeman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I will say this though. Guys who are incredibly good looking, guys who are wealthy, and worse, guys who are incredibly good looking and wealthy, a lot of times, in my experience, ladies, let me know your thoughts, I have encountered a lot of a-holes, try to say this in a PG way. The same way a lot of women who are very beautiful and have great bodies, you know, a lot of times guys are shocked when they have a good personality because a lot of times people use that to coast. I know I'm like changing the dialogue a little bit. But sometimes I have seen a guy have a mindset that I don't actually have to do certain things on an emotional level because I can just shut you up. I'm going to send you this and I'm going to keep you quiet. It's kind of like the people, you know, like the pastor that has a really wealthy person paying tithes or the governor who's getting funded by a lot. It kind of changes how maybe I'm not going to say anything about this. And sometimes they know that. So I would just say sometimes people use their powers for evil when they have the opportunity. Not saying all people who are wealthy and not saying all people who are good looking, but sometimes that, I should say, that has been more often than not. And for the
it
is
a dichotomy.
If women want men with money, they just focus on men that are generous. Because guys with money, we can still be stingy.
You said they can still be stingy?
Very, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Yeah, I've definitely.
Very stingy. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying, just because we have money, we're going to give it to you. We'll give a bum $100 for whatever. But, you know, you got a light bill this past due.
It's so funny you said a bum $100. Monte literally just recently gave a homeless man $100. And I was like...
He doing the Lord's work.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, because we get the blessing from giving the bum the $100. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but if I just paid your $4-5 light bill, you know what I just paid for. So
that's correct. But true.
Honest. A man that does that, he's paying for exactly what you plan to give him as gratitude, and then again for Valentine's Day as if it's new.
Yeah, I will give my. Can I give my piece of advice?
Yes, please. Oh yeah, I forgot to get everyone's piece of advice.
Yeah. Okay, so my piece of advice is study what you want. So if you really sit back, I think a lot of people don't. It's almost like when you tell a person you're gonna if you had all this money, what would you do? And they'll just tell you some vague answer, but they really won't sit down and delineate to you what that vision actually looks like. So anytime I'm dealing with a client, I go and I will go through. I want you to walk me through your day if you had this and all that kind of stuff. Is that I don't think women sometimes sit down and really think about what they want in a man or what would probably make them happy in the long term, so that they can actually start studying those men that they want. And that's why I loved your platform. Why I was drawn to it was because you're actually teaching them how to secure that thing which they want. And so some of the older ladies or more mature ladies who've been through they now know what they want, they just don't know how to acquiesce it. So I was just saying really study, because I want to find a wife, right? And so I literally sat down and said, how do I go about getting and securing a woman like this? And I've actually had and ran into, to be honest, sometimes I have a lot of opportunities because I committed myself to kind of learning how do I present these things and those things, or how do I interact with that person in order for me to kind of secure that trust. And so it's just study what you want, study to know what you want, and then now study how to get it. I would definitely say that.
Okay. Anyone else with a piece of advice for Ask My Next Question?
Yeah. I wanted to also add on my last bit of advice, do not paint every man like the last man who dated you. Every man is different.
Facts.
Don't paint every man like your ex.
And don't talk about it
differently until proven otherwise.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to be judged by someone else's footsteps.
Nobody should suffer for another person's sins because Jesus already did that.
You better tell it. Okay, guys, there are four of you, 5 of you. It's my math. 5 of you. By show of hands, how many of you universally, no caveats, universally like women to approach you if they find you attractive or interesting? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all of you. Okay.
I had someone on my Facebook. She had known me for years. What she did was that she invited me to play a game, one of these Facebook games, and then that's how we started talking.
Yeah.
I like smooth stuff like that. I like that kind of stuff. That's
turn
cool.
into, you know what I'm saying, a whole fairy tale relationship with dope.
Okay, so that being said, do you ever feel awkward shooting them down? Let's say she approaches you and you know off the rip, this is not it. Do you feel uncomfortable shooting them down?
Not at all.
No.
I don't mind. I don't mind telling a girl no.
The majority of women that approach me, I'm a lot. Well, I'm not gonna say the majority, but I'll be very honest. I'm insulted a lot of the time. Like, why did this make sense to you?
Dang.
It's completely like I don't say it. I'm not an a-hole about it, but I just like no, I'm not interested. But then after when I'm reflecting, I'm like, what am I doing that made like Audacity is on sale on Groupon or something? What am I doing with myself that made this person like? For example, I was in the gym, and don't laugh. But like I was in the gym squatting, this dude was like, "Bro, you thick as shit." It threw me off, like super off. I'm like, "Wait a minute, no, nothing about me."
He said you thicker than a Snicker, my guy.
Listen, so I'm like, no. He was like, "Hey man, I didn't know. Like you just like you got a graphic tee on, you got an outfit on, working out. And then he hit me with you miss 100% of the shots you don't take." I couldn't even, man. I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, that is the shooter's mentality. That is the shooter. But in my mind, I'm like, what did I do?
What bat signal?
Or if it's like a less melanated, higher calorie individual, I have no idea how. Like I don't even respond. I just block them because nothing I can say is going to sound like it's nice. And I don't say anything at all. I just remove follower and then block them after because there's no way. Like my page is public and I have my children on my page. So
yeah,
I mean, you should just know that looking at my children that's probably not.
Okay, can I be honest? He's keeping it too real. But
I'm not gonna lie, I have had someone message me.
They were real nonetheless.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Johnson,
I just have to say what I thought you.
And then you'll see what I'm talking about.
No, I'm not gonna lie. When I was on a dating app, I had quite a few guys in succession hit me, and I did say, "This is what I'm pulling. I'm doing something wrong. So I can't even be mad." What were you gonna say, Cam? Sorry.
No. Okay, so I had to ask. Okay, so first of all, sir,
yeah,
I thought you said that with your out loud voice. It's like you was just rejecting women. Like, what made you think?
Oh, you said, look at me, look at you, look at me.
I'm never going to be rude to a woman like that, generally speaking, unless I've given her 3 or 4 times to stop. Like,
I understood it afterwards.
That's my internal thought. I'm like, what made?
No, that's what I said. I was just.
He was like, "Oh, we're bold."
I was like, "Oh snap!"
He said, "State your intentions is nothing now."
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So I will tell you, I have a problem with that. Not a problem in the sense like I can't say it, but
yeah, it's cringy.
I have a lot. Say it again.
I said it feels cringy.
It's not even. It's kind of like I had to do it a lot when I was younger. So my background, I was in the church, but there wasn't a lot of like guys in the church at the time because like right around I want to say like when you could like not go anymore, they weren't going. I kind of enjoyed the embodiment of like some of the things that I was doing. I like community outreach and that kind of stuff. But there was only like 2 guys in the church, and I was like well spoken and decent looking, and so there wasn't a lot of choices. So there were girls that sometimes would come to me, and it just felt bad because it was like, man, like you're a cool girl, but you're just not built for what I got going on. So, and it wasn't always like a physical attraction thing. Sometimes it was just like, yo, you go a little fast, or whatever the case may be. It could have been anything, but I just always felt bad. So
Don't feel
when
bad.
I do have
Did you go to the pastor when you were talking to girls in the church?
Say it again?
Did you have to go through your pastor when you tried to talk to a girl at church?
Pastor's pimping now?
No, dead ass, for real. I will tell you stories.
That happens.
It has, like, when I was
I
growing
came up in TD Jakes' church, so I know what's going on over there, but I didn't know you had to.
Yeah, so when I was growing up, we weren't allowed to church.
But real quick, I'm gonna let you do real quick. So they were approaching me, so that's what I was talking about specifically.
Okay. Yeah.
The girl, well, let's keep it a bean. Most people don't care about all that rigmarole. Personally, like if you were really serious about it and you're really moral, then yeah, you might go through that path. But the girls would come and talk to me, and they were well-meaning girls, I think, most of them. I just didn't like doing it because, like, I know rejection to women because I've had some women friends. I just know that they're just not really built for it. And so it's just hard for me just trying to, like, low-key reject a woman. I would much rather, like, we're grown now, so it's a little easier. But, like, back then, I just remember, like, it was always a cringy thing,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm with it. So, but the reason I bring that up is because, dating in the church, it was already difficult for me. Like, for example, when I was growing up, like, in my teens and early 20s, like, in my teenage years, like, those youthful years, we weren't allowed to date because we wanted to be, the pastor, at least in the church, wanted us to be presentable, growing in our faith and everything like that. And I respected it, and I can respect, having a code where you have values and everything like that. But as I got older, the pastors would come and everything like that. And then I found out that, if I wanted to try to pursue somebody in the church, I had to go through my pastor. Instead of me saying, "Oh, I want to talk to Kevon Elise," instead of me going to Kevon Elise, I would have to go to the pastor of that church. And I'm just using her as an example because she's in the chat grilling me, But and I don't like that because one thing that my father always taught me is consider the source. If I have feelings for somebody, I'm not going to go tell another man, my feelings for that person. Like in the church, I'm being in the church in particular. I'm not going to go to the pastor about, "Oh, I like her, I got feelings for her," because he's going to think that I'm less than. I want to make sure that the interest is mutual between, me and this young lady that I have feelings for. So I'm going to step up. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's just my take. That's just my experience. But I want to flip it back to.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to flip it back to women approaching men. To me, I love it because that tells me two things. It tells me, number one, that you're not scared, and it tells me, number two, that you're willing to see what it is that you want from me. It tells me that it's like, okay, I'm putting myself out there. I want to see what you're about. At least have a conversation, like straight up. And I'm gonna give you a funny story. This is where I believe that I would like to see women be more like strippers in a sense. Let me explain. Let me explain. I don't go to the strip club that much, because that's just not my type of energy. It's just not my vibe. But the times I would go, I would go straight to the bar, and I'll just post up. I'll just sit there, I'll have a drink, so I'll get the energy, ladies dancing, do whatever they do and everything like that. I'm chopping it up with the bartender, I can get that energy. But the dancers will come up to me and be like, "Hey, baby," like, true story, the last time I went to a strip club, a woman came up to me. And she didn't look like she was a stripper or anything like that. So I thought she was just making casual conversation. We just started chatting it up. "Hey, how you doing? What do you do for a living?" Just having casual conversation. And I was like, "Yo, let me buy you a drink." And I was like, "Okay, I like this energy." But then she told me that she worked there, and I was like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that." But she was like, "Okay, let me dance for you." I'm like, "Bet, you got it."
She was following the laws, man. She was following the laws.
That's what they're supposed to do. Like, hey, listen.
I know that. But look at what happened. She didn't look like she was a worker, obviously, because she was just
okay. I gotta interject this, if I may. So you had something. Let's break this down. You had something she desired that prompted her to come to you. Now let me connect this. So what Willie and Cam and I have been saying,
I'm
no,
Y'all
I'm not
said-
talking about the stripper. I'm saying in life, like it's the same way in life. Women will do that. There are women who will literally. I have a friend who's a musician. He would go on the road with his wife, and women would literally throw panties. Didn't care, his whole wife was sitting there. This man couldn't fight the you know what off of him. But he had something that women wanted. And those are the laws that Cam is talking about. So it's possible. So you're saying you want that that dynamic? It is possible. Women will do that.
Where? It's like this.
You said where what?
I said I swear, because a lot of the times women will use the woman a man has as a measuring stick to see if he's worth her time and attention. Because if a guy has a bad, a guy has a woman that other women can respect or admire or at least see themselves with, they'll be like, well, damn, see how she's so in love and enamored with her man? I wonder what her man is doing for her. And, you know, women are as competitive as men are quietly. Everything that women complain about men being out loud, they are at home. It's the saying that my father gave me. They're just as competitive. So if a woman sees you with a bad, you know, a strong 8-9 on your arm, and she's all into you, she's about you. Women see that, and that makes them more curious about you. That man is a musician, and bringing his wife on stage and singing, they like, damn, he probably serenaded her in the bathtub with candles every night. I just want to serenade me over the phone, and that's when you start seeing women who are willing to be less than a number one, just so they can have a piece of that. And then some of us will fall into that role, be like, okay, well, now I got this on the side. And we don't realize the whole time she planning to be number one. But those are also like, you know, you said your strip club analogy. Like, don't go in that strip club thinking them girls like you.
I know, no, I didn't. I wasn't going in there for that. I wasn't looking for, you know, a woman to, you know, date and everything like that. I know,
but it felt nice. Man. It felt nice. Yeah.
People are grilling me in the chat talking about, oh, that's her job, that's her job, that's her job, that's her job. They didn't hear the fact that she didn't look like she was a worker there. I thought she was just there because women go to strip clubs too.
But she's not naked?
I went to a strip club for my and I had a blast. You know what I'm saying? Strip clubs are just better with women.
Oh, man, you got to come to
that's just my experience. And I believe if women had that kind of mindset to at least try to approach a man, I think it will go a long way. That's just my opinion. It was probably a bad analogy, but it was the best one that I had because
women do that, though, bro. Like, women approach men all the time. I promise you, women approach men the same way that lady did you in the strip club. Women are doing that in CVS, as long as you're not by like the condoms and Plan Bs and it's awkward. But like in grocery stores. Like, when they catch you at home, women are approaching men. Like, because a woman will see you and be like, I can see something with him. And here's some more free game. If a woman approaches you, she's probably already thought about sleeping with you. So all you got to do is not talk yourself out of it. You will talk yourself out of more.
Did you say probably?
Yeah, 100%.
No.
I think.
No, you said probably. We're going to just go with 100%.
Well, I will try not to generalize, but I will say because that is how we know, like, you will talk yourself out of more vagina than you ever talk yourself into.
Facts.
Well, that is a fact. So
I agree, but
you will miss way more shots.
Me personally, I'm
talking than you would. You know what I'm saying?
I don't fish for, you know, that attention. Like I was never the thirsty person. I wasn't the type to be like, oh, I'm sleep with this girl, sleep with that girl. And that's just not how I operate.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you, Paul. I'm the same.
Man, just go to the gym and start buying your shirts. One size too small. You'll get them on.
Woo, we are weak. We are weak for some muscles, huh, ladies? We are suckers for some muscles. Okay, so we're. Oh, go ahead.
If you don't get muscle, just get some tattoos. I mean,
I'm not a tattoo guy.
Hey, look, I got plenty of gals approaching me, and I don't look like some, you know, Buff Bagwell wrestler type bod, okay?
Not Buff Bagwell. Big Papa.
Buff Bagwell. That's a throwback.
Y'all just
No. I try not to use somebody that use steroids.
They'd be like, well, don't chase guys. I don't do that. So me as a man, I've always been the initiator. So it's rare for me to have a woman step up to me and be genuine about it and feel and be intentional about it. That's a rare occurrence for me. So,
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, my last serious relationship, she approached me.
Woo-hoo! There's all the proof right there.
See, you got a little razzle dazzle to you. See, it's in there. That's
And-
gonna stop you like.
And he's 6
What's your
feet
name?
tall, Willie.
Huh?
And he's 6 feet tall.
Man, you know how sick I am of being 6 foot tall? Because all of my friends are 6'6" and 6'7", so I look like I'm 5'5".
Mm.
I hate it. If I could get
Hey,
through
y'all, your little NBA league team, beaming.
man, listen, if I could be 6'3", I'm telling you, you wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. But like if I stand next to my partners, they 6'7", 6'5", in the picture, they'd be like, "Oh, who the cute short one?" Like, man, I'm 6 foot tall.
Now, see, I have a problem with super tall. Like, if someone is much, much, much taller than me, that hurts my neck trying to look up. Like, I feel like there's like a perfect, level to which you kind of stand like this. I've never understood the women who are like 4'11" and wanting a 6'5" dude. Like, for me, I'm not gonna be. To me, it's not a fetish to like a tall guy. I want to just have my head be on his chest when he goes to hug me. That's hot to me. I don't want my head to be on his belly button. I don't want my head to be resting on his chin. It's like I want it to be like, random information y'all probably didn't need, but I just felt like sharing.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so I'm going to bring this back because someone said they were interested, okay? Not height hate. Okay, Jacob, you know what? You have been so patient. Should we let Jacob on? I think we should bring Jacob on. Jacob, do you promise? Put your hand up. We can't see it. Put your right hand up and say, "I solemnly swear to do profile reviews for the next 5 days." Jacob, if you take that solemn promise and then DM me on Instagram, I will send you the link to come on, okay? So let's get into this travel thing. I saw some people commenting about traveling. So what is with seeing, well, we'll start first before the traveling. We'll start with the expensive things. If you see a lady posting name brand stuff, high-end cars, nice, super nice bags, what is the perception if you see a lot of those pictures? Tons of high-end stuff. Try not to say too much.
That she's a big spender. And for me personally, it's not a turn off for me. You know what I'm saying? I want to see photos. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind you sharing your stories about traveling the world. Getting yourself nice stuff, and women talk about like self-care and everything like that. It's not a turn off to me. But what I notice a lot of times is like I don't want to see that all I don't need to see 1,000 pictures and you're traveling the world. Now, granted, but here's the flip side to that. You're a traveler, you know what I'm saying, and you make content, then that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I expect, for example, if I do a review and I see in a woman's bio, because I do read the bios, if I see traveler in the bio, then I can say, okay, then I expect to see a bunch of traveling photos. But if I don't see traveler in the bio and you're just flaunting, it's like, okay, you're just flaunting. You know what I'm saying? And
they be lying a lot too, though. They just say that.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It could be a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody else could be paying for all of that too.
That's one of the main. I'm usually stuck on two sides, right? I'm unfortunately I'm very fiscally responsible. However, I do like nice stuff. If I look at a woman's page and I see that she's got an excessive or exorbitant amount of travel, as a person who also travels a lot, I know what these trips cost. So now I'm looking like, all right, cool. What do you do for a living? No disrespect to any of these fine, pretty teachers who are, educating our youth, but there is no reason and no way that you've been to the Maldives, Bali, Hawaii, Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, South America, and got a BBL all in the same year and want me to think that you paid for that. So that's
great.
Unfortunately, again, having once upon a time been the type of guy who will fly someone out for vacation fun, it always comes back to that because now you look at the pictures, she's in every picture by herself. Every picture is made to seem as if she's doing it by herself, and then that shit just don't add up. So
with the hand sometimes and the wrist, like.
Bruh,
You said with the what? I missed it. I'm sitting here
Like
messing.
you said, so it'll be like a little hand or whatever. And then the only time, again, with these specific types of women, I'm not saying all women are like this, but the only time they show a man's hand is when they want to show the other dude that they with somebody else. It's not for.
Yeah.
They're trying to prove a point. Like, oh, you thought you was the only person I could get that'll pay for to fly me out all around the world? Like, there's plenty of men out here with money. And as far as the clothes go, it's just, I mean, one, let's keep it a buck. Anyone who has that stuff knows that shit is all uncomfortable. Red bottoms are the most uncomfortable heels that I think I've ever heard a woman complain about. And their men's shoes suck. Their clothes fit terribly. Louis Vuitton sizes, they only make them for small like junior high size men. So you can't ever find anything in XL. And then Gucci and the rest of that stuff, if it's not a Coach, you can't wear that shit but 4 months out the year. So if I see a woman with a lot of that stuff, I'm already going into it knowing that, okay, cool. She's one of the reasons why she's going to like me is because I can provide those things. That's going to be one of the areas in her that makes her feel safe. And then that conflicts with me just not wanting to buy that stuff. We can fly around the world before I buy you a purse. Like, I'm not going to give you a $15,000 purse when we can go on 3 $5,000 trips or 2 whatever $7,500 trips. So it just looks bad. And then again, the fact that you've got all these trips, and each one of these trips, no disrespect, I mean, you got 2 trips back-to-back weeks. There's not many men that's going to be able to go on 2 trips like that. You know, even these doctors and lawyers got to take PTO. So now I'm thinking you don't went with 2 or 3 different people on 2 or 3 different trips, and I know what it takes for me to fly you out. If you come to St. Lucia with me, you know, that hotel balcony is not getting wasted. So just the implication there alone is that now that's 2 or 3 each trip is, you know, with a different dude. And if that's the case, you know, until we find out otherwise for sure, it's not even worth our time.
Okay. Oh Lord, I ain't got much to say after that, Yancy.
Hey, I have a few things. It does give all those vibes, but another thing is if your profile is just flooded with just nothing but that, you either like, because I like profiles that, you know, are authentic and are about the person. You know, if your profile is flooded with all that, you're not telling me too much about just you. Like, who are you from day to day to day to day? Not just who are you while you're out there having fun. Who are you? You know, what are your values? What do you do? Which version are of you or yourself from day 1, day 2, day 3 when you're not going on trips? You know what I'm saying? And another thing it gives off is if you're not showing me that side of yourself in your profile, that means you got something about it that you don't like that you're trying to hide. Because not everybody is vulnerable and adult enough to share their problems or insecurities or what their non-glamorous life looks like off the internet. Because we all want to present this whole cookie-cutter clean image of a dope social media page so that we can get more likes, get more follows, get them dopamine hits, yada, 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 yada. But to me, that's slowly dying because we already know it's a fact. We already know. So that's another thing that like, whoever you are, we want to see the real you. We don't want to see the version of you that's on vacation. We want to see the real you. That's what it is.
And that's why, you know, whenever I do reviews, I try to see balance. You know, I want to see, it's like, okay, you can post a couple of pictures of you know, traveling and eating dinners and everything like that. And that's groovy. The concept of posting traveling pictures and posting something nice and doing, I get the, like, face value. There's nothing wrong with it. But don't allow that to, like, consume you. Like, don't be obsessed with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I look at it the same way with, like, working out. Like, if I see a woman's Instagram and she's working out and, okay, like, she's into fitness and I'm okay with that. Nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? But when you post certain things and you use certain poses, you know, a lot of guys are going to look at that and be like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, show me that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tend to be cautious about dating fitness women is because it's like, okay, she wants eyes on her. You know what I'm saying? She wants attention. You know, and not just for the fitness aspect of it either. You know, so that's just my point of view.
We have a question, y'all. And let me add this. So Don says, this only matters if you're using your social media for a dating site, I'm assuming. Here's the thing. Nobody can decide how it's used. So it doesn't matter if you intend to use it as a dating app or not. There are people who have met on Discord. My friend's son is getting married to a woman that he met on Discord. Discord's not a dating app. It's a site for gamers. And they were in a chat room and it just love blossomed. So you can meet people anywhere. So my thing is, if you want to be married, put as many irons in the fire. Put your best foot forward. It's kind of like when you're going to the grocery store, you dress nicely. You don't have to go in a prom dress, but you don't go out in a bonnet and slippers because you never know who you're going to come across.
Oh, I hate bonnets and slipper girls in the grocery stores. Oh, and a lot of the times they be smelling like pure.
Can we transition?
Yes.
Thank you,
I kind of like the
Jacob.
prom dress idea. Man, I think that'd be dope.
I did that one time as a joke. It was funny. Me and my girls, we just randomly wore prom dresses. But I wanted to answer her question. What were you going to say, Cam? Thank you, Jacob.
Maybe that's too hot of a topic because you made me think about like the bonnet thing. You made me think about these extendo eyelashes. You know, I think
I wanted to talk about that. Yes.
Okay, we don't have to do that. That could be like Patreon stuff. I don't know. You let me know. But we
no,
can your next question.
No. I added to the list so I don't forget. But I have a testimony about that. Beautiful client. One of my favorite clients. She, heart of gold. I loved her. She had an amazing story. I love seeing her success with guys while I was coaching her, whatever. Okay. Because she did multiple sessions. I let her know at one point, I said, sis, with all due respect and in love, the bat wing, you're too pretty for them, right? And she was gracious about it, but she didn't take them off. And then I did a post a while back saying, guys, how do you feel about this? Guys were all like, we hate it. Either I won't even talk to you or I will talk to you, but eventually I'll try to work in the conversation like, girl, can we please do something about those things? And then I did a post for women saying, now hearing what guys say, are you still going to keep wearing them? And there were a handful of people who still did. One of them was her, right? She'll stay anonymous. She reached out the other day and said, I've decided to retire the lashes. I have been wearing them since 2019.
That's a W.
You did the Lord work.
That's a W.
We're good. You out here? Yeah.
I was so proud. It was slow golf clap. And y'all, she is pretty.
Natural beauty always wins.
She's so pretty. And it took away from, so I just want to say, one by one, y'all might think I'm trying to beat women down. That's not the case. I'm trying to help y'all be great. So shout out to her. She knows who she is. Great girl. But
when you get the Black Power fist from me.
You get all those salutes, all that. God bless you, sister, and Yancy. Yeah.
So I got eaten alive. I got attacked. There was a post on someone else's page, and I haven't forgotten your question, Lindsay, so I'll get to it. And the guy said, hey, I met this girl. She seems great, but oh my God, she wears these big over-the-top lashes. Should I say something? And the lady is a dating coach. And so she said, basically, no, just keep it pushing. You guys, clearly aren't compatible or whatever she said. And I was like, what? It's just the lashes. And so in the comments, I said, for the life of me, I don't understand why women will keep doing something that men have said over and over again they don't like. When I tell you, you would have thought I said something racist or evil, or it was crazy, the level of hate. And the overarching sentiment was, this might be a shock, lady, but women don't do everything for men. Not everything is for men's approval. And what I don't understand, she said, that's how I met Yahtzee on another page. Oh, I'm so glad. It's funny. It brought my tribe to me. Sorry, side note before I finish this. One person goes, oh, that's a bad look for you as a dating coach. People aren't going to like you. And I said, frankly, anybody who sees this comment and is turned off, they're not my people. And they could stay where they are. And so that's funny that Kivani's came. And, I'm saying? Real recognizes real. And I'm saying I'm polling men. This is what they're saying. And you're doing things that are deterring them. But this is what I didn't understand. There's one thing to say I don't have an identity and everything I do is to please other people. That's one pendulum swing. And then the other one is I have to do, what did I say? I do everything for approval of other people. And the other one is screw how everybody else feels. I'm just going to do what I want to do, which that's fine, but you have to accept the consequences. And the consequences might be you're lonely. Like maybe you don't feel like showering every day. Well, honey boo boo, you probably going to be funky. You said what?
You can't expect chaos without no order.
I'm saying. So it's like you can't be funky and then be mad that you don't have friends. Well, people who really appreciate me, well, no. Nobody wants to be around a funky person. So it's just this mindset that is just so delusional that I don't understand. It's like this narrative, and I know the media is responsible for a lot of this, where it's like you don't, because they use all the phrases, right? We don't do things for the male gaze. And I'm just like, oh my God, you guys have bought into this hook, line, and sinker. It's called you're fishing. And if you're fishing for catfish, and the experts say this is what catches catfish, use that bait. But they're so proud of themselves that they're not doing something for men's approval. Okay.
So I'll speak to that specifically. Is that a lot of times I tell my cousin all the time, if somebody says something more than 2-3 times, or they get like really arms about it, it's not they're trying to convince themselves. So like this eyelash thing, you're like, oh, I don't want to give up anything about myself, because I think sometimes you might have an identity issue because of that. Like to me, I'm like, what does an eyelash mean? If I shave off my beard or if I do anything, like I said, if that's such a big, huge step to me, then why am I holding on to that so hard? And you have to ask yourself that question.
Yes.
And so the person who came followed you off that post, I would imagine that they're like, no, I see it for what it is. This is like something that I like doing that might be something, but this isn't
I could
who
give
I
or
am.
take. Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're to your,
but that's why she followed you. Yeah.
To your point, there were a lot of people who said.
So yeah, most of those other people are right.
Yeah, a lot of the other people said, well, that makes her feel good, and that da-da-da. And I'm thinking, if it takes eyelashes to make you feel the best about yourself, it's like, I'm not saying don't wear any makeup at all. Like, it's literally something that's deterring people. And so typically, if you think about it, okay, it makes you feel good. Well, if you're straight, usually it's making you feel pretty. Well, who do you want to look pretty for? You're not looking pretty for other women. And for the people who say, I'm looking pretty for myself, I challenge even that. I said this when COVID hit. All the people who said, I love wearing makeup for me, I love dressing this way for me, I dare you to show me pictures of you in the house in COVID. Did you have a full beat?
No, Yahtzee, challenge them further than that. Show me a story post that you put on Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook of yourself during that time period when you couldn't get outside.
So unless you're doing a full beat, you're putting all this expensive Sephora makeup or whatever, you're putting all this, you're walking around your house in 6-inch heels and provocative outfits from where. Unless that's happening, then that is for you. But you're in denial if you're saying, I dress this way for myself. Well, I worked really hard on my body, da-da-da-da-da. You're not walking around the house, chances are, in little hoochie dresses. You're probably in some sweats and all that kind of stuff. Even, strippers and stuff. They come home and put on their sweats and their little puffy slippers. Okay, I've got myself on a tangent. I got my little vein popping out here. Here's the question that Lindsay Starks posted. Jacob, were you on when I said I would let you on if you vowed to do 5 profile reviews for the next 5 days? That's 3 a day. That's how these guys got here. They do 3 a day. All right, so if you want to do that, I'll let you on. Lindsay said, if you're a man, not if you're a man, if a man you're getting to know says that he's going to text you in the morning, but he doesn't, should I question why he didn't, or just make a mental note and continue to watch how he moves? I have my answer. I'm going to save it for the end. Guys, what do you have to say?
I would say text him and make that young man know, man. You got to give him a little bit of grace, because he could woke up late. He could have forgot to iron his drawers the other night. I don't know. And then he got preoccupied with work, so he might hit you up after work. You know what I'm saying? But
a man that likes you, I don't know. That's pretty much my default answer.
The thing is, just don't press him. If you press him, it's gonna irritate him.
This is me. So, Yonty, we're pretending like this is my woman that asked you this question. If I found out somehow that my woman asked you, should she ask this question? I don't want to talk to her anymore. And this is why. Because you know how petty it is for me not to text you one time in the morning to make you feel a way about it, without even coming to me and asking me first. And it made you feel such a way that you wouldn't ask a high-powered dating coach for advice on how to handle a situation this simple, Lord forbid I don't come straight home after a meeting, or I'm running late because of traffic, Lord forbid it's raining outside and I don't go cut the grass. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna call my mom and ask her like why she raised me to be such a failure? Like, this is the amount of time it took to post that. She could have asked him, like, hey man, how can you text me this morning?
Okay, I gotta defend her.
I was gonna come.
I gotta defend Lindsay. That's my boy Willie. I gotta defend Lindsay on this one. So I had questions like this when I was starting out. Absolutely had questions. And there's a fine line between, so you're saying ask him. The other guys are saying it's gonna annoy him. I tend to lean towards I would think he doesn't like me. Only because when a man likes me, there's never been inconsistency in communication. If he says he's going to call, he's going to call. So I tend to read into things. So I have a little bit of a different take, and I'm very interested to see what Cam has to say. And people chime in the comments. Let's hear what you have to say.
I would say, well, it depends. But the first thing I would say is check it out. What did she say? She had two choices. Like, do I like ask him about it and do that kind of stuff? People are going to show their fruits. People, you can't put on facade for that long. Like, actors can only act in a movie. Even if you method act, they actually have to go to therapy because they eventually lose themselves, right? So, like, people will show who they are. So, like, don't make a big deal out of it. Now, if he just stops texting you altogether or stops texting you in the morning or whatever, like I said, it won't take that long. Take note and then keep on going about the day. Now, if he's not communicating with you at all, like you said, what did my man say? He said, date people who like you. It'll be very apparent that, hey, he's now taking a day to reply to me, or he's now like not replying to me that much, and there's no consideration or even a conversation from him about like, hey, I'm on this business trip, or I'm moving around a lot, or all that kind of stuff. So I would tell her to take note of it. We're adults. There's a lot of things that go on. I know that sometimes young ladies, they like will really go into things and make a whole cinematic replay of what's happening in the background. Don't do that.
They like to balloon, Cam.
Yeah. I would just say just take note. Yeah, just take note of it and then keep going.
Yeah, and me personally, if a guy like if looking at this scenario here, I would say you can do whatever you want to do, of course, obviously, but for me, like I would say try to show some initiative. If he's not texting you, in the morning, good morning, or anything like that, why not throw him a little bird? Why not say, hey, good morning, babe? Or just say, hey, good morning, hope you're having a good day. Simple. Because it's the simple things that really are the best. A simple good morning text will get me through the day. Because, and that's just me, because I like words of affirmation. That's my love language. If you show me that you want to genuinely get to know me and be around my energy, speak to me. Just, hey, good morning, have a good day. Simple.
So I would say that, and ladies, let me know if you agree with this.
I prefer physical touch, but go ahead.
A lot of women, I like affirmation while getting physical touch.
I give love with physical touch.
I give and receive it both ways.
Receive love with words of affirmation.
So I would say, as a woman, during the very initial stages of getting to know a man, I'm not going to initiate a ton. I'm not initiating texts. I'm not initiating calls. I'm talking about the very, very beginning. So interesting to see what the other ladies have to say. So if a guy seemed like he was falling back or not doing what he said within the first couple of days of meeting me, I personally would not reach out. I would take it as a sign. Also, coupling that with men saying, we don't like doing the, backing up. We don't like having the speech. I'm not really feeling you after all. I will take your actions for what it is and let that person remove himself. But I will return the energy you give. You give me this, I will give it back tenfold. But if you start to fall back, I will fall back even harder.
Question for you, Yancy. So if it was the case, I meet you, we're talking back and forth, all that kind of stuff. I'm hitting you with the good morning queens and all that other kind of stuff.
Then you got blocked then.
And then that was a 2020 thing, 2020 thing. So let's say you go and I don't hit you up one morning. So
how
this
many
is
days
just the first
how many days?
5 days. Let's say 5 days.
Okay.
So I've been hitting you up. I don't hit you with the good morning one day. You're going to like crucify me for that?
No, not crucify. I'm going to give you your space.
Okay, but then I hit you up later on that evening. Is that an indictment on my...
It's not an indictment, but I would wonder what it is that made me not be on your mind. Because that's how the woman thinks. We think...
What about your... Okay, good.
Yeah, the woman's thought is, if I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm on his mind. And if I'm not on his mind, he probably doesn't like me to the degree that I think. And so I'll probably...
Even if that's what, so the scenario that I give, so 5 days, we're going super strong. The morning I don't hit you up, but I hit you up later on that day. That would still be a strike against me, even if I like...
It wouldn't be a strike. That's what I'm saying. Your language is like good or bad, right or wrong. It's not that.
No, not... Well, my intention. Okay, let's go only with the intention. So the intention is I want to get to know you more. All that kind of stuff's happening. But we're adults. I work a job. I do all that kind of stuff. Things happen also.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to you. I'm making you laugh. We're doing all that kind of stuff. But I miss a day. But I hit you up that day. But I just miss a day. Hey, sorry. This kind of stuff like that. Or maybe I don't say sorry. I hit you up. Like, hey, how you been doing this afternoon? That would still not, in the dating...
It would send off a bit of a red flag. It would set up, it would be like a little and then as time went on, then I would probably get more comfortable with you and I would get to know more of your routine and then I would let you know, hey, this is what this behavior says to me. Because I know, you know, as a almost 44-year-old woman, someone's behavior doesn't mean the same thing to them necessarily as it means to me. But as you get to know a person, you go, hey, this is what this means to me. Like, for example, if you leave the house without kissing me goodbye, it makes me feel away. So to you, it might not mean anything. I was just in a hurry. But, oh, my partner, it means this. I'm going to then do that thing that makes her feel safe.
Yeah, you wouldn't dodge me, but you would just kind of like...
Yeah, I wouldn't dodge you if we were 5 days in, but I probably would be listening for some sort of indication that, like, you were in the hospital, you were called into a meeting, or, you know, because for me, and this is what I struggle with, I am so on when I like someone. Like, when I like someone, the minute I wake up, they're on my mind. And I have an iPhone, so I can say, hey, Siri, text Cam. Good morning, hey, hottie, or whatever. My Siri's actually trying to, no, not texting Cam.
No.
And it takes 2 seconds. Even if I'm in the car, driving, whatever, like, I can do things. So I have always struggled to empathize when someone says, oh, it's been a crazy day, because there are certain people and there's a hierarchy. There's my top person, like there's my kids, and then the person I like. Everyone else, yes, they can get that. It's crazy. Like, I had 4 people text me in the last 30 minutes. They're not going to get a response back because I'm on YouTube. Let my honey text me, babe, in the middle of a YouTube. Well, he already knows ahead of time, right? I've set an expectation. So there's a different level that I give of energy to my kids and my significant other. So if that is not given back to me, it makes me automatically question. So again, this is something that I don't just assume, but I will communicate as I'm getting to know, hypothetically speaking.
Okay, well, good that you didn't.
To drive Yancey's point home further,
It's good that
we all make time for the things that we want at the end of the day.
Thank you.
True, but there is consideration for being an adult and also other perspectives. And so that's why I was interested in how she would go and handle it. Because to be dubbed after I've been giving you 5 days of good whatever, that would be crazy to me. And I'm still talking to you.
And to be fair, Cam, you know, some ladies aren't, you know, all drawn into the whole. Some ladies are drawn into the whole inconsistent pattern of communication because their dopamine brain has been so hacked because you know, X amount of guys did that to her, and that's why she's still hooked. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's called the Ghost of Niggas Past.
I had a true story,
Ghost of
Cam.
Niggas Past, you say?
There was a guy I was getting to know, and the chemistry was awesome. Like, at least from my end, it seemed like. He was talking, it was long distance, so he FaceTimed every single day. We were talking for hours, you know, seemed like great conversation. And I want to say it was like either a work week or it might have been the weekend through the end of the work week. So Saturday comes, no hello, nothing. And I'm like, I just noticed it. I was like, oh, that's weird. But I'm not to the point where I'm feeling comfortable initiating. Then the afternoon comes. When the evening starts to come, I'm like, okay, he could be doing something weird, which he doesn't have to hit me. I'm not his girlfriend, whatever. Or, oh my God, what if he was in a car accident, something? So then I was like, the angel didn't even write, going back and forth. So finally I just said, hey, I hope everything's okay. Something like that. It wasn't whiny or you owe me anything, but I was just like, hey, I just hope you're, because I was like, God forbid if something were to happen and I'm over here mad. So I sent that little message. I don't get a response. I think it was like Monday. And he sends a message. So he went like 2 whole days. And he said something like, oh man, it was a crazy weekend. He never got a response to me. And he obviously never will now. But even if I was single, he never would now. To me, that was, I have something else going on. That would be weird to be texting you and messaging you.
I agree with you. That would mean the same thing to me. I was just saying, like, I literally know people, and like I said, going back to the laws, it's like the law of consideration when you're dealing with a man is very important. So having reasonable consideration is cool, but like having no consideration is also not in your favor. So I think there's a balance there. So like I said, that's why I had to ask you that question. Like if I'm talking to you, we're going strong, that had to mean something in the balance of things, especially if I hit you up, it just happened to be not according to our, because sometimes we introduce people to things that we can't necessarily keep up just because, and I don't mean like dinners and that kind of stuff, but like I might really
like 3-hour conversations. Like you can't.
Yes, we can't do that every day.
Yeah.
Exactly. But at the same time, I like you that much that I'm going to talk to you that much. But eventually it'll probably be pared back a little bit because like I had one young lady that I was dealing with where it's like we would do that at one point. Like she said she didn't like talking, but she would talk to me for like 2 or 3 hours on the phone. I'm like,
cap.
Yeah. I was like, okay, whatever. Got you. So she was indicating certain things. But then there was like a particular point where it's like I had to start thinking about like maybe falling back a tad bit just because I'm like, we're about to be on the road together. So like, I don't want to like ruin it for you because it's already going to be interesting us being on the road together doing like, work and other things like that. But so there's different considerations that need to be taken, and communication usually can solve all that, especially if you're like further in it.
And Clemmy says, she said, I think if men and women were more open and honest with each other, there'd be more successful relationships. It's a shame this isn't always the case. And not to toot my relationship horn, but truly.
And yet I'm crazy for saying state your intentions.
It's the way. It's the way that you do it.
And when.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta be more slick with it, though.
Exactly. It's called finesse. So Monte and I had that, and it was amazing. And it was so refreshing to not have to play the game. That was what blew my mind when I first entered the dating world after my divorce, because I was like, it's not that complicated. Okay, we find each other attractive. You either want to try to date me or you don't. You either like me or you don't. Like, why is it so confusing? And I agree. I don't understand what the reason is. And it took me 8 years to find another human being who was comfortable just being direct. And, we both said, I had this idea. You guys probably heard the story before, but I had this idea. And I said, look, there are things that everybody's scared to share because, you're worried it's going to scare the other person off. Let's just proverbially flash each other. And if the person sticks around, great.
I like it.
If not, then we haven't wasted time, And so it was like, here are the things I think are cringy that might scare you off. And he was like, here are the things that are typically cringy, might scare you off. I thought about it and he thought about it. And we're like, we're still in. And so we kept going. And if something bothered us, we spoke about it. If we needed something, we spoke about it. This is what I want. This is what I need. But to his credit, he set the tone. He set the tone and showed me that it was a safe space. He was consistent. He made sure I knew. He said, I'm in this. I'm into you. I have no interest in other women. I've already shut down my page. I'm not asking you to do that because a man doesn't rush you. He lets you go at your pace. Otherwise, that could be love bombing. He said, I know I'm all in. I freaking told my mom about you. Like, I want to get to know you. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Put the ball in your court, Yonsternation.
He absolutely did. And I was like, hey, put my jersey on. So
and you dunked it.
It's possible, and it's so easy to do. And I feel like if a person doesn't communicate back, that's a sign that you shouldn't be with that person. But for the people who are open and comfortable with communication, with finesse, then because he could have said, I like you, what is it? Sign on the dotted line. You need to tell me right now. And that would have totally turned me off. He didn't. He just said, this is where I'm at. And if you like this program, this is where you can sign up. And I was able to take my time, and the rest is history.
The easy way for guys would be just to be, have a conversation about what are your deal breakers. And I think if more people were honest about what their deal breakers were, then they wouldn't even have to worry about being direct. Like, I'll tell her, hey, if you've ever been a sex worker, disqualified. One thing that I'm not going to I can't run for president, you be the first lady, and you got a sex tape out, or you climbing up a pole or some wild shit like that. I can't do that.
Word.
It's hard for guys to get to a point where they're either comfortable in their own skin to be able to have those types of uncomfortable conversations, or command a woman's desire enough that when he has that conversation with her, she will still find him attractive. So, guys have to play in between that. So, I super salute to Monte for being able to show and set that tone, and also let it, be known that it was a safe space. It was a judgment-free zone, and hey, you got 9 toes, cool, we're gonna make it work. Like, as long as it's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, that's a really, really, really dope thing to do. And for some of you guys, if y'all are funny, you can make anything a safe space for humans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always lead with humor on my dates and when I talk to women.
I was going to say that about you. I bet you that's your swag. I'm telling you, because we are suckers for you make us laugh. And y'all know I can't fake laugh. When I'm like really laughing, my eyes start watering, my nose I can't fake it.
Hey, with Yonsei, whenever guys my age or younger than me ask me for dating advice, I'm like, look, no woman, I don't care how beautiful she thinks she is. I don't care how much out of her you think it is. If you can make her laugh, you can get her.
Laugh her out of them draws. I'm just playing.
Dude, I've been working since
I can make it happen, and she'll send me right to the friend zone.
Hey, keep shooting, bro.
Say, hey, bro, just shoot him. Women that like you won't put you in the friend zone, I promise.
Say that.
Women who like you won't put you in the friend zone. Women who see utility in you. No romantic interest, they'll keep you in the friend zone because you're going to do all that boyfriend stuff for her, and she's not got to do any of that girlfriend stuff for you. So if you stay in the friend zone, my G, that's a you thing.
Right. It's not a me thing. I get what you're saying, but it's like, look, I can, and this is so sad because I was just on a date a couple of weeks ago, and we was vibing. I was making her laugh and everything. I was flirtatious. I was my finessing self. But then I told some truths, and then she told me straight up. She told me straight up, you a quality dude.
Kim said, and that's where you.
That's where you went wrong. You
don't like to lie. I don't like to lie.
It's not about lying.
I don't like to lie.
Oversharing is a thing too, though.
You got a time, bro.
Yeah, oversharing is like if you go on the first date, you'll have a good time, and by the way, I saw you're Catholic. Well, I was touched while I was in church. You're oversharing on the first date. You don't want to leave with it. Like, you got to be realistic about what you're talking to her about. You making her laugh.
That's
what
you
start talking about, like a dead granny or like how you used to sleep with your mom until you were 15 or some weird shit. I mean, bro, that's what's going to happen. Like, not just what you said, obviously, but you kind of can't really go and blame these women. But
my thing is,
you also don't go there unless she takes it there.
Yeah. Let her lead the conversation that her openness goes, right? For example, they say men don't ask women about body counts. You know why? Because women don't want to talk about that shit. And if you ask a woman what it is, she's going to lie to you.
She's going to lie.
But know that if she asks you, you still don't ask her what her body count is. You just tell her yours and then let her make her assessment. Because then you'll know that, damn, if you told her you've been with 2 women and then she's like, oh, that's good. Or you told her you've been with 30 women and she's like, oh, that's good. You should, as a man, know that she may have a unique view on how that works for them.
But I never bring up body count unless we're serious.
No. Even whoa. I never bring this shit up. Not like period.
Okay, talk about it.
Don't bring that shit up at all.
And I'm gonna say this. Because this is how I operate. Body count is such a overused topic of conversation. Nobody talks about. Everybody wants to talk about the numbers, but nobody wants to talk about the energy behind it.
No one cares about that, bro.
Listen, just hear me out. I don't talk about that kind of stuff. I wouldn't broach that kind of stuff while we're dating. Now, if we get serious, And if we going towards, getting married and all of that good stuff, having kids and everything, that's where we can have that conversation. And then I can say, okay, I don't want to know the numbers because the numbers can be skewed. I want to know what the energy behind that was. I want to know the story behind those numbers because let's just say for the sake of argument, right? A woman can have a body count of 5, right? But she might have been through some things as a youth.
Oh, Lord.
Bro, the number is 5.
But just hear me out for a second. Hear me out. Just follow me for a second, right? And so it's like, okay, so what is the energy behind that? You know what I'm saying? But another person can have the same body count, but be like, okay, have a different story.
What? So give me a woman's been with 50 people. 2 women been with 50 people. No disrespect to women who've been with 50 people. I'm not shaming any of y'all, but what I am going to tell you is this. You don't let 50 men climb on top of you. I don't want to be 51. Or excuse me, I don't want to attach myself to you if I know that I'm 51. Because, the average person has sex with 0.5 people a year. You've had 50. So I'm 40 years old. So let's do some math. So you don't that's cool, bro. And the energy doesn't matter. The energy behind 5 is, I don't give if 5 were man, if you're saying it's like her uncle, 2 of her uncles, her cousins or something, that's the energy behind those 5, that's obviously an outlier. But if you talk about a woman that's been with 5 men her entire life, compared to a woman that's been with 50, I'm picking 5 every time. Even if 2 of those are her uncles. I'm picking 5 the whole time. I'm not picking 50. The energy doesn't matter, it's the quantity. It's 50 men that have conquered your woman in
It can go both ways. I agree with you.
It's not going both ways, bro, because 50 and 5, the energy doesn't matter, the number does. Because now it's about her decision making. She let 5 guys, 5 relationships. 50 dudes, she wasn't dating 50 guys. She wasn't in long-term relationships with 50 men, and she's 40 years old. Because we probably didn't start dating until you were 18-ish, so that's 22 years. You don't squeeze 50 dudes in. That energy is way different than start dating 18 with 5 guys. So
exactly. A woman with 5 bodies will pair bond to you easier than a woman with 50 bodies.
Yes. And then women who have higher body counts are more likely to cheat when they get married.
Facts.
So the energy is, that's cool, but just leave that topic alone until you are ready to handle it. You can't ask that shit up front.
I just said that. I literally said that. I don't talk about that unless.
Oh, yeah, you said you're talking about it when you want to.
Literally just said that.
At the commitment phase.
Just to bring it back, I just think, like I said, going back to these concentric circles of trust that we kind of fall into, is we just need to make sure that as we approach things with a level of discretion and honesty that's due that period of time you are with that person. So if I've known you for 6 months, we talk all the time. If I know you for 6 months, we talk all the time, then I'm going to tell you a lot more than if I had just met you. So.
All right, so we've got a rule. I just opened it up to my silver level patrons. We're going to do a couple more minutes. If you come on, you must come on camera so that we can see you. Otherwise, it's just weird seeing a black screen. So if you do come on, please join the conversation on camera, even if you're just showing your shoulder or your wall, okay? Because I know you might not be camera ready. But if you come on, we don't want any lurkers, okay, guys? So,
Julian, you all right, bro? You ain't said nothing all night. You good?
They're doing wellness checks.
Yeah, I'm good. Just listening.
All right, shit. I couldn't even tell if you was over there breathing, bro. I'm glad.
It's a fly on the wall.
It's a bot, you guys. I'm just testing it out.
Hey, that's the dude with the 2 pages. I mean, with the 2 posts on his page.
Oh my goodness! Welcome. She might have trouble.
So, are we still on YouTube with the silver level, or what are we doing?
We are. So we're still on YouTube, and I am letting in any of the silver level patrons who want to join. Those of you who don't know, on Patreon, it's a monthly subscription. You get to see all the answers that the men share and see what they think. You get to get invited to my monthly Zoom Mingle, which is a virtual singles event that happens on Zoom. It is not broadcast though. I gotta take this pinned one off. What else? What else? You get to see behind the scenes. I like to share a lot of stuff with me and my little family and other little fun things. And then, like, of course, tonight, you get to join in on the conversation with the guys on camera, should you want to. So go ahead and sign up at patreon.com/Yonsi if you want to get all the behind the scenes goodies. And
I can't speak for everybody on this panel, but I don't bite.
there we go. Trying to put it in there. So it looks like some people came on, but they were maybe, I know it might be a good point, but they might have been scared to come on camera. So crazy story. I don't know if you were in there, Willie, but this is back in the Facebook days. We used to have Friday night group chats, and so everybody would come on Zoom. They already knew what time it was. We'd be on there for hours. This one time, a dude came on, and we heard the most blood-curdling scream I have ever heard. It was crazy. Like, you'll never forget that sound when you hear it. And we're like, did y'all hear that? And then the guy's camera went, and then he went off. And one person in there said they knew him. They were trying to call him, and he wouldn't answer. To this day, it haunts me. I'm like, did we just witness a murder? Like, what? A crime? That was crazy. I was like, what is happening?
You didn't have Patreon back then?
I didn't have Patreon.
Yeah, you could have had that like video, you like bottled it up for the gold members.
Oh my God.
Crime podcast on accident.
I was like, what is happening? Turned into a Zoom snuff. Just playing.
One of your patrons said that she's gonna rejoin on computer.
Perfect. Yeah, I think she was having some struggles. I appreciate that. Were there any other questions? I feel like there was a question.
I wanted to share my deal breaker to piggyback off of the 6-foot brother Beeman. What he said. Yeah, I would say one deal breaker for me is I would say one deal breaker for me, and this is me personally because I don't know if I've been too traumatized, or maybe it's just me holding too high of a standard. I don't care. I cannot date somebody who is an atheist. That's just one of the things that just gives me just absolutely no, because that tells me that if you're not at least aware that we're underneath some divine order, I don't know if I can trust that. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. And then another common deal breaker for me is if you treat everyone else around you effed up and you're treating me with all this grace and respect, it's only gonna be a little while until you eventually treat me like you treat them. So that's another red flag. Inconsistency in personality and being an atheist. That's my two big red flags there.
If you don't know how to use your big boy words, that's a deal breaker for me. Like, I don't...
Oh, you mean like talking with Ebonics?
No, I mean like communicate. I don't play the Blues Clues. Let me figure out why you have a bad attitude. I'm supposed to read your mind. I need you to say, babe, that pissed me off. This is why I don't like it. And sorry, I'm just trying to update this and I can't read it in text. Let me just hit send.
So you don't do the subvert passive aggressive?
No, I can't.
You just say nip it in the bud as soon as it happens.
Yeah, I don't like to guess. Like, I want to know. And also somebody who cannot get past a hurdle. Y'all ever been with somebody, there was an issue, y'all talked it through, but that person couldn't get out of their feelings for like the rest of the day, or maybe it lingered for a couple of days, and you have to keep doing temperature checks to see like, are we good now?
Oh, I hate that.
I can't do that. If you got everything off your chest.
Give me an example, because I'm trying to understand what would be a situation.
Let's say you and I, right? We're a couple. We're in the car, and we're driving, and I do something to irritate you. Now we're gonna go meet up with our friends or whatever. You got a funky attitude the rest of the night. You moving funny. You're not giving me affection like you normally would, and we've already.
So okay, I'm trying to understand the level of offense for you. Like what level of offense would require? So like, what about if you were like, yeah, that's why your mom looks like Joel Osteen or something, right?
Okay, so that's
that's a low blow.
But like,
no, that's a great question.
Like,
that's one of my personal things. I don't attack. I'm even very careful with joking because a lot of times there's truth and humor. So no, it would never be like a
every good joke has truth.
Yeah, or it's not funny. I would never make a side comment like that, but it could be like, you know, I said I would drop off something and I was late. Maybe I was late. I mean, which is not being very punctual. But let's say I said I was late.
Light, so you're saying something light work, like something that can be like worked through.
Oh yeah, not like I disrespected you as a man or I threatened our relationship. No, it's just like something that pissed you off, and you know we talked about it. Like you said you were gonna take it. I know, and I forgot, and whatever.
I had a friend who was complaining about his wife not getting over something, and I was like, what is it? And he was like, man, it's something crazy. And I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's my 3-year-old son. And I was like, wait, y'all been married for... Bro, get out my house.
He went and had a baby on her?
Yeah, I think he was being funny. I mean, I wasn't even in the right headspace to have that conversation. But he was like, bro, if she just won't get past it, like, I do everything I can for her, like, and she's still mad. And I'm like, it's a human, bro.
Oh, attached to another human.
It's a child.
Like this is an ongoing, yeah.
No, she gotta chill. I did it once. I didn't do it again.
And listen, and that was his point. He was like, it was a one-time thing. I got the kid. At least she gets to see me take care of my kid. And I'm like, all right, man.
Delusional.
My divorce attorney. Like, my divorce attorney is amazing. Like, he's, Jewish and old. But I don't even think that man is going to be able to get you off with no alimony or something because she's going to get half of your shit.
Man.
Okay, I want to tell a story real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, on this one. So, my ex-wife, so I didn't even know the IRS had a tax form for this. So apparently, like, that's a thing that happened. So we had did taxes together. I didn't even know she ever went to college. So we were actually going to get a refund back, like, this time. Like, this was years ago. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, cool. We're going to get a couple dollars back. We'll go do something here and there and, do a couple things. They snatched my refund. And I'm like, why would they snatch my refund? Like, I don't owe anybody anything or whatever like that. Come to find out, before she actually went to school and her loans went into default and all that kind of stuff. So they snatched back all this money. And I usually don't get mad about things, but it was like, when you're expecting something and then, like, it just doesn't come for, like, a reason, and then you find out that reason was, like, you didn't let me know what was coming through the pipeline, and she just wanted me to be cool about it, and I was just like, we just lost $5,000. Thank God I was able to find a way, just a form called the injured spouse form, and I was able to, like, fill it out. Say again?
IRS form 8379. The injured spouse.
Oh, you see, okay.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it was.
I know a little bit about that one. Same exact thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that happened to me, but she wanted me to get over it, but I'm just like, we can't do this now that we wanted to do. And she's like, oh, that's cool, babe. You don't even worry about it. And so I was kind of...
Because they don't pay $5,000 of her rent. Listen, child support debt is bad. I know I hate when guys, get behind being willfully negligent. But, if life happens, okay, handle your business. But these goddamn student loans, man, I don't think nothing is worse than those.
She went to school for, like, I think 2 quarters, and then it happened, and she just wanted me to chill on that. So that's why I had to ask Yamsi, like, so what you mean? Because I can't be cool with you for at least, give me a day. Just give me a day just to kind of, like, eat ice cream and chill and mourn and listen to sad music. Like,
you need
sunny day.
To apply for a loan to give me my
everybody loves them. Can you stand the rain?
I cannot. So if you have joined us, please come on camera. Otherwise, you can just watch on YouTube like everybody else. But it's more interesting to the people watching if there's someone on camera. So hi, Dawn. Hi, Amanda. Welcome.
Hi,
It
everyone.
is rare for women to, jump on camera at short notice. So kudos to y'all. And I have to know, Amanda, is that sunlight I see behind you?
Oh no, it's like a painting, like a wall.
I thought I saw a light on a porch when you had turned the camera for a second. So I was like, what time zone is she in?
Yeah.
Oh no. No.
Okay. Are you ladies comfortable giving the state that you are watching from?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Dawn, with the cheeks.
Go ahead, Amanda.
I'm in New Jersey.
Okay, welcome.
I'm in Florida.
Welcome. Very nice. Patrice, can you hear us?
Are you in
Oh, there
Orlando
she is.
then?
Okay.
I'm an hour from Orlando.
Close enough. You got the magic in you, girl.
That's too funny. Do you have any questions for the guys? We're going to go for just a few more minutes. So
Here to check on Julian. That's it.
there is like a whole movement. Julian wellness check.
AI. It'll be okay.
I told you it's a bot. They are very, very realistic nowadays. Okay, he's helping moderate the chat. Oh goodness, Julian, are you being held under duress? Are you here of your own volition? Blink twice. Yeah.
No, I'm good, everyone. Appreciate it.
Capture check.
Okay.
Check. I'm back in.
Good.
If you the police, bro, just tell us. And none of us got warrants, so you just wasting your time.
Amanda, any questions for the guys?
No, it's been a great conversation tonight. I appreciate you guys getting on. It was good. I hope it can be more of this. But yeah, it was pretty good.
I love it. Let me know in the comments, y'all. So I used to do this regularly, and life just started lifing, and I had a lot going on, but we used to do this as a weekly chat. So let me know in the comments. You can put a yes or a no if this is the type of thing you would want. It's available to my patrons to come on. Obviously, you guys can know that for my silver level. And then, of course, anybody who, is one of the guys from the who does the reviews, I give you guys that option. So she said, yes, bring it back when you have time. Okay. Yeah, so let me know. Vote in the comments. I would say, oh, Lord, it's already 11, so it means it's midnight for y'all on the East Coast. Cha! So I would say we'll do about like 15 more minutes. I would say, okay, let me ask a question for the guys. What would you say is a pretty good sign that a guy is just wasting your time? He's not actually looking to get to know you for a relationship. Shout out to Isaac for just joining. Good to see you, sir. What would you say is a sign to look for, a telltale sign that the guy is just wasting your time? Maybe your female friend is telling you stuff and you're just rolling your eyes like, oh, Lord, how do I tell her? This is obvious.
Before or after she done gave it up?
Oh! Great question. Before.
Oh, he's inconsistent. Because, I mean, if he inconsistent, then he's not even committed to trying to hit. So, I mean, he's just trying to say, okay, well, cool, her standard's so low, she's going to let me smash for, 3 days out the week. I tell her happy, good morning, and 4 days out the week, I tell her good night. She'll take that and, pump off some of them cheeks. And then after he's hit, we just change up. Just common sense. It's like, if that's our ultimate goal, no disrespect, like, a lot of guys go to the gym and get in shape and quit. They're like, well, shit, I'm good. I don't want already. The same thing with women. If we get what we want from them, and there's a caveat though. Unless it was fire, but like if it was something like not too memorable, and we just wanted to have that physical conquest and we got it, then you'll know what time it is. But after we get it, it ain't no more good morning gorgeouses. I'm not sending you 15, 16 memes a day for reals trying to make you laugh. I was seeing you on Wednesdays. Now I see you on Saturday, earlier in the day, like 2 to 4, 2 to 6. And with the sun up.
Not with the sun up, and I hate to break it down.
So true.
But according to the comments, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all some Patreon tea.
Morning, you know what?
The men. This is the first what?
The post nut clarity.
Right.
Well, that's DNR.
I was gonna segue into.
I saw what you did there.
I was gonna segue into this, but ladies, believe it or not, all sex is not good sex according to men. So they are not just so thirsty that they are just so happy to go
Some
to
of us just don't want to beat our meat no more. And we done went through like 200 pages of Pornhub, so we just want to use it to masturbate. I'll keep it super funky with you on this one.
Bro, you too, bro. You gotta shut up.
Yeah, he keep it too real sometimes.
I didn't say
Pornhub.
I didn't say nothing. I said
Pornhub.
Yeah, P-Hub, my Pornhub, and
Or the Hub.
Just the Hub. Because I mean, look at it though. Seriously, if my OGs told me when I was a kid, if you ever want to know if you want to be with a woman before you try to hit, beat your meat. If you still want to deal with her after that, that's the one. When I tell you that the reason why I have 4 relationships in my entire adult life is because I adhere to that practice.
Oh God.
Like I'm telling you, every time
dumpster diving, bro.
It doesn't make sense to send that good morning text message no more. It doesn't make sense to go watch this movie I don't give a damn about. Like I have never seen The Notebook now.
I knew The Notebook was about to come out your mouth.
100%. I've never seen it because of this.
Screw The Notebook. I'm with you.
One of the most memorable times when she was like, I want to go see The Notebook. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go at 9. So by 6:30, I had my little routine. At 7:30, I was just like, hey man, I mean, you can come over here, but like I ain't really trying to go outside. Like that shit saves men's lives and livelihoods. You know how much child support would be saved if all men did this?
There's a lot of motivation by the desire for physical gratification, which is why women will get so upset because they feel used because you were being used. But you said what?
Life size.
Oh, right. But I will say this. There are many men who have said once they had the experience itself turned him off. So a lot of women, I think, believe that just because I have the parts, he's going to be very happy and very pleased. I was here, I was willing, I was present. But there's a lot more that goes into it. The guys went into much more detail on Patreon, so I will save a little something for my silver level patrons.
Translation: your pink pocket doesn't guarantee you a relationship out of them.
Ding,
like,
ding, ding,
I
ding.
do all that work, all that good morning gorgeouses and good nights and walks from the park, and then I get in it, and this is it? Like, this is what I work for? Like, it's kind of like if you get a job. Like, the pay sounds good, but then when you see all the work you got to do to keep getting that paycheck, you're like, no. I'll take less money just to be happier while I'm at the house working remote. I'm not.
I would say that I have to totally disagree that because masturbating, when I did masturbate, it actually made me hornier and it made me want you more. So it's the reason why that I don't do it. Being a single, no, I can't because it actually made me want to go and get more. So. Have I ever masturbated before having sex? Yes, I have. But it always made me want to have more. It actually was an aphrodisiac for me. But I can also say this: getting the cookies and being turned off after the cookies. It has to be something that she did that actually turned me off. It can either be the lack of activity, the lack of the lack of her lack of being into it.
You're giving the cheat code.
Hey,
it ain't worth it if it ain't no passion. Yeah,
that's the hard part.
Give me some energy.
Trying to hit like Instagram models, like the 8, 9s, and 10s. They're terrible in bed. Because they're so used to men trying to dominate them, all they got to do is lay there and just take whatever he wants to do. And then when they're done, he's just like, all right, well, cool.
My question to them is, what the guy needs a break, man?
But then if you ask most men, ask the men on the panel who their top 3 is, I bet you that at least the number 1 and number 2, they were not 8, 9, or 10s.
I stopped going after 8, 9, 10. Why? Because they were too high maintenance. Not saying that I could afford them, but it just wasn't worth it because there was.
I heard a lot of guys say that.
Because there was no value that I came with it.
Hey, Isaac, Mr. Isaac, man, a lot of them also, like, I've experienced this myself. I talked to plenty of 8, 9s, 10s, and a lot of them just have bland 8 personalities. I'm gonna just be.
That's why you got to give us 4s a chance. We'll rock your world.
Exactly. I would take an ugly face with a great brain any day.
Yes, give us 4s a chance.
I'm saying we need love too, right, Don?
Hey, I'm gonna make a comment real quick because I know all y'all are talking. First of all, that's not even enough for that. But second of all, to make the point, one thing I would tell a woman that, like you said, the inconsistency, I would definitely say, but inconsistency in a way where it's like if a guy always has to constantly explain himself about why he's being inconsistent, that is another thing. So
thank you. We need the tips. Yes.
Yeah. So, for instance, like if I talk to you sorry.
No, keep going, Kim.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying, yeah. So if a guy's talking to you, you guys might talk really hard for 3 or 4 days, whatever like that. But then like he kind of falls off. He gives you an explanation. Then you guys go and talk for maybe 2 days, and then he falls off again. And then he's like, "Oh, this is happening. That's what's happening." That's a clear sign. Like I said, you're not on a priority. And more than likely, if he's able to use his voice that much, or like he's good with like his words, he probably is a rotation of people who he's doing that with. And you all keep on biting, kind of like Mr. Beeman said. So I would definitely say if he constantly has to give you excuses for his lack, then that would be something there. Now, since we did get on the intimacy topic, I will definitely say, and I think, Yanti, we had that conversation before, like, not why, but like I don't have a lot of situations, but I've noticed that all the women that I dealt with, they had always like given me like some type of props because, like I said, a lot of times all they had to do was show up, and because they had to just show up, they weren't even as like I said, it was like they probably weren't as skilled as they thought they were. So I always thought that was an interesting thing coming from somebody, like I said, I was in the church. I lost my virginity to my wife, and so it's just really interesting to like have that be a case where it's like, dang, you've been out here in the streets, you caught all these bodies, but you're kind of like not that great, you know.
Damn, man, that's dope, bro. Salute for that.
Hey, I'm trying to be like you, Cam.
It's not my testimony, but I really respect and admire you for being able to,
Hey, I've had women to walk away because I refuse to have sex with them.
You should. A man should never hit a woman on the first night, especially if you try to give it to him.
Bad luck. And besides, to quote the man behind me, I don't want it if it's that easy.
Well, shit, I don't know. I'm efficient, so I'm not gonna lie to you. My discernment is gonna put me in.
Hey, sorry for my lateness, but I'm here in Dallas handling business, but I don't know. Look, I'll definitely say this. Well, let me put it this way. For me, I can't speak for the other fellas. I think that women that can't understand that a man wants just about the exact same thing that they want, I think that's where a lot of women miss it at, because they feel that everything should be catered towards them. And she not realizing that, hey, the man desires to be catered. We may not ever say it, but we desire to be catered to too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So,
to piggyback off of that, Isaac, for me, I don't mind being catered to, but like it's the willingness for me.
Right.
Like, be willing to do it. Like, for example, you don't have to spoil me. You ain't got to do all that good shit. But like, if I come home and I just want to relax and chill and everything, all right, I can take my shirt and everything. Just give me my slippers and throw me the controller, and I am good.
Right. It don't take a whole bunch.
It don't take much.
Can I say I love that. I think women in our feminine, we love that.
And look here. I'm the type of person that I've never looked for the typical housewife to cook and clean and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I can cook. You know what I'm saying? I can clean. Because these are the life skills that I learned. Cooking and cleaning, these are life skills, not gender roles. So everybody should know how to cook. Everybody should know how to clean. Everybody should know how to wash clothes. It's just the way I was taught, because I was raised by a single dad. Okay? Growing up in my father's household, he taught me, son, go to work, show up. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. So I had that respect about me, you know what I'm saying? And growing up, I just learned how to cook because it's just what I knew how to do. I love to eat, so why not learn how to put it together? So
got it.
If I'm paying $10,000-$15,000 a month in bills, I'm not cleaning up anything. I'll hire somebody to do it, but that's definitely going to be something that my wife will do. I can do it. Raised by a single father. but I watched him spoil my stepmother, and she did all of that. Laundry, cooking, cleaning, ironing uniforms. My dad paid for everything. She was a nurse, then a physician's assistant. I've seen it, but for me, if I'm outside, 10, 12 hours a day slaying dragons, and I come home, I promise you, I'm not doing no laundry. I'm not, I'll come in, check on her, check on kids, stuff like that. But there's just certain things that it's a teamwork. So no, those aren't gender roles, but those are not the roles that I'll be serving on my team.
Mm-hmm. If you have a woman who signs up for that, look, I'm about to do a 10 for 10 real quick, y'all. So your girl is getting tired. You see me yawning. I'm going to do a 10 for 10. If you want an extra 10 minutes, you can do a $10 little gift, okay? And we'll set the clock for $10, and I will stay on. Now, within reason. We're not finna go to 2 in the morning, okay? But if you guys want to do another 10 minutes, otherwise, I'm going to be wrapping here. Quick announcement, because I have had guys from Yonsternation hitting me up and asking, where is the link? Where is the link? Willie, you cannot I should have given the disclaimer.
I was trying to see that shit so fast before you said the disclaimer.
I was about to give the 10. So, I mean, if you got it, it's whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
That's terrible.
Get out of here because I gotta get on the bed. It's past midnight.
Like some people have things to do, right, man?
Hey, I'm in Minnesota, man. I'm an hour ahead.
It's a pleasure talking to you, girl. Thank you again, y'all.
Thank you for coming.
Damn, it's
I've been here from my friend Dawn or Amanda, so we're gonna give it 10.
Okay.
Another 10.
You're terrible, but thank you. You're still terrible though.
And Maverick, you said you in Minnesota? I've never seen a black person in Minnesota in my life other than Prince.
They're out there.
Hey, a lot of my family lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's full of them.
Y'all, Lynette just put another 5 on it. Okay, I'm honor system. Okay, I legitimately just put my alarm for 15 minutes. Y'all are terrible. Y'all gonna have me like that one guy on the Facebook chat who was we were staring at the ceiling for 3 hours because he fell asleep on the live stream.
Hey, my Amex just said, did you just ask me about these super chats? I done sent too many tonight.
They're like, you realize you just did one recently. That's what my bank will say.
That's why I switched them. I learned this the last time we had the one. That's why I switched the amount.
Oh, I remember it. It gave you some issues. That was too funny. So quick thing before I forget, because I almost forgot that fast. For the men of Yonsternation who are maybe watching this and going, where's the link? Where's the link? Where's the link? This is a special thank you for the guys who tirelessly do the reviews every day. So men do reviews sometimes, but specifically, really, Cam? Thank you. Oh, God! All right, that's 25 minutes. Okay, Cam just shot another 10, you guys. Okay, how do I even pause? So that'll be 23 minutes we have left. Goodness gracious. I am grateful. I don't want to sound ungrateful. But y'all making me work tonight. Okay. What was I trying to say? So if you're on Yonsternation but you did not get the link, that is because I have a special private group within the private group. Yes, I just let the secret out. And this is for the men who volunteered and said every single day, I promise to do the 3 reviews. So the people who got invited are in the inner ring of the inner ring. So,
part of the club.
So
Listen,
I said,
profiles.
That's a lot of profiles. Yeah, if we're like 60 days in, three a day, that's a lot. And these are not one sentence.
Okay.
Listen, I would say, Yonce, I got to the point to where I started looking at some profiles and I just skipped them because I did not want to say what I wanted to say.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Let me
Let's talk about it.
There were a couple of profiles that looked just like clickbait, and I'm serious. And I'm like, did you like go through and hide a whole bunch of stuff because you knew that we would do the review, and the whole page just looked straight like clickbait? And those are the pages that just got like 1, 2, 3 pictures, and that's it.
So
that's it.
This is what I task the men, because literally I had 2 ladies hit me tonight and they're like, I only had 5 reviews. I say, you say whatever is honest, because we're not about making people feel good. If you say this looks like a fake account, what am I supposed to do with 2 pictures? That's the review. That's the reality. Okay, so
now you tell me.
Look.
Yeah, because we was about to go in sometimes, and we didn't because
I was about to go in. I'm serious. This one profile, I was like, you took pictures next to every single woman that looked 10 times better than you, and you expect for us to give you a review?
Okay, so now, I wouldn't say that. I would not talk about her looks, okay? But if there's something that's constructive that she can do better, absolutely. Now, when I say looks, though, looks is what she was born with. Now, weight is a different thing. Weight is a different thing. You're not born with your weight. So I don't even mind if you say, you know, if you lost some more weight, you probably would have more. I'm even okay with that. But as long as it's not, because there's one guy who's like, I would never date you, and that's just not constructive. Like, what are you gonna do with that?
No, because I saw one that was a bigger woman. Her confidence stood out big time. And I told her, thank you, because you don't see big women taking full body pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And she had tons of them. And I was like, I like your confidence.
One of the things I tell the guys in the comments, they need to look at, you know, a lot of the opinions that these men are giving are from men that those women wouldn't date anyway. So
because
that's really important. That's really important to understand, though. Like, because a lot of, there's 700 guys in the group, and we're all at very different phases in life.
Yes.
What I've noticed is that when we are reviewing certain women's pages, that those women, like the men that have the most to say about those women wouldn't even acknowledge if they were in public. Like, they wouldn't even acknowledge those guys. For example, we don't have to say her name, we all remember, the one lady who was like real pretty, but like every video was her on a trip. It was a lot of ass everywhere, but she was pretty enough. Like,
I gave her a thumbs down.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of guys had a whole bunch to say about that profile, but for me, I keep it funky. It's like, well, I mean, if we were in a room with that girl, she probably wouldn't talk to like 9 out of 10 of us anyway. So for us to be reviewing her profile is dope because, you know what I'm saying, the business side gets handled, you know what I'm saying, for Yonce, but it's not very many men that she would even qualify as being entitled to having an opinion for her, because unfortunately, of the 10 reviews she got, 9 of those men are invisible to her. So their opinions are kind of moot. And that happens a lot of the time on these posts.
We are getting super real right now.
Some women's posts don't get a lot of reviews because the same thing for us. Like, it's really hard for men to objectively review a woman's page if we don't find something about her attractive or interesting.
Let's get into that, Willie.
Word up.
Let's get into this.
Willie, but what about the one that, well, let me say, I felt that she was a beautiful woman, but it was one particular picture that she had posted 3 times in her profile, and I said,
but you know why, though? Because that thing was sitting the way it was supposed to sit. That was her
No. This is the one that took the provocative picture with her.
That's what I'm talking about.
So look, that's when they already know who they're right. And these are anonymous, you guys. They can't see what everyone else says.
You saw the picture before she went and hit that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm like,
but you gotta think,
bro, that was a huge turnoff.
Like, I can tell that you have an abundance mindset when it comes to women. Just understand this. Your favorite news from a woman have come from 3 or 4 niggas before you. Like, so I tell women, I'm like, don't send me news from 3 niggas ago. Like, I need mine up front, like, new. And then you got an iPhone, like, don't send me no funky ass, send me a video. Anyway,
right.
But you saw that, like, you see that on these posts. That, like, so as soon as, you know what I'm saying, Yonce posts one, they'll be like, oh, no, I forgot. I got my titties out on 15 of these. I got to go hide 5 of them. So, like, the profile that you see at noon is not the same profile that me and Cam see at 4 o'clock in the morning when we get up to go to the gym. So I'm saying the reviews already hit, and she done seen it. So she's like, let me go ahead and block this, because now everybody thinking I may sell a little something on the side, and that's not the vibe that I'm going for.
Okay. Wait, don't lose your thought, Cam. Wait, no, you say it first. I won't lose my thought. Go ahead. Lene is dying in the comments. I'm dying in real life. Okay.
I was trying to keep on topic, but both of them are keeping it too real. But I'll let you go, and then I'll expand.
Okay, so this is my question. So I'm talking to you as the moderator, the person doing this. I get the women saying, I'm not getting a lot of profiles. Now, I post 3 a day. So I can always see a quick screenshot, and I'll see like 20 reviews, and then 4 reviews, 5 reviews. So it's like, there's clearly people are doing the reviews. So then somebody said something to that effect. Like, I think maybe the guys aren't doing the ones, but they're not attracted. And of course, we had the one guy who was like, acting like it was a dating app. Like, no, this is not for you specifically. So here's my question. What is the resolution? Because I can't say, hey, they were so much not into you that they didn't even want to review. Like, what do I say?
It's not like that. No, I can honestly say that it is not that, because I don't look at the profiles as in I'm attracted to this woman or I'm not attracted to her. I look to see what can I learn about her through her telling a story through her profile. And that's why I say that the one that took pictures with her and her friends in almost every single picture, it will make you say, well, let me not look at you. Let me look at your friends. And that's just the honest truth. So how can a guy that's, that really wants to get to know you, how can he look at every single picture of you and you with women that's...
Because no man is going to intentionally date the ugly friend. I'll say it. Like, that's like our biggest fear in life, is we get with a woman and then we find out that, we done fell in love and all of this, but, she lacking, physically, but then she got a plethora of back. It's kind of like if you say a woman dated a dude, she pick her guy out of his girlfriend and she get the broke one. It's the same thing. Like that same sense of like buyer's remorse.
Look at God. Yeah, I know.
Buyer's remorse.
Yes. That shit, for example.
That is the thing, bro.
I know you talk about Ozzy, right? You know what's crazy is, at least you know she's not too conceited because she still tags her fine friends. But I also know that there's a lot of dudes who went and followed her friends though. When you go
okay, let me address that. Okay, please. Guys, I need y'all to have some more couth, because I'm sure that some of these girls' follower counts went up when they were bad. And it was just kind of unfortunate, because I thought we were here to kind of help people to kind of get together. But like you said, there's 4 and 5 reviews. So I think the solution to the situation is you have 45. I'm sure that there's probably about 50 of us who regularly review, right? But we may not be super consistent with it. So I think you should have in a special group that, hey, there's these 45 guys, they tend to do reviews. They can put an extra 2 or 3 reviews inside of there. So if you see a girl only has 5, you go hit those 45 guys like, listen, and then just do it that way.
But that's what the smaller group is for. That's why I was leaning towards removing it altogether, because when I made this smaller group, this was the group of, can you commit to doing the 3 a day? Because if everyone does the 3 a day, then they're going to at least get because there's 17. So that's why I said, because it's like, it started to become like pulling teeth, rightfully so. Like, I wouldn't be wanting to do this for this many months. I'd rather end it while we're ahead. And I recently did a poll saying, should we stop? The majority still said keep going, but then the numbers don't match. So it puts me in like a...
Well,
so is there a way to count it?
I have not followed anybody that I reviewed. I have not followed anybody that... It was one of the profiles that was private that I said, let me send a friend request just to see, so I can see what her page looked like. As soon as I said unfollow immediately.
Yeah, and they're not supposed to have it private. Yeah.
I'm stingy with my follows anyway. I follow like 230 people and got almost 40,000 followers. I'm real particular about who I follow for that reason. Because if you look, I've been found out that if you look at who I follow, you know who I follow. If you see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to go onto a post and follow someone unless there is some sort of direct connecting intention there. Because I don't just follow, I don't give a shit what you do on your vacations to follow you enough as a stranger. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not commenting. But when it comes to the reviews, like, my test is simple. I only have 2 questions. Would I show my mother, like, if I liked you, would I want to show my mom your page?
There you go.
Embarrassed, or this is the big one. Would I want my daughter to be like you?
There you go.
Automatically means though that I have to have some sort of attraction to that person. So for me to review someone that is not necessarily in my physical or physical archetype, that I have to find other things to rate them on, like consistency of posts, brand management, like seeing people's posts that they post consistent work. There was a lady who was a chef, and she was a chef in Dallas. I was like, I almost want to follow her, but I didn't. I just saved the page because like she can come do like some catering or something for me later. But
and I actually think that's someone that Monte knew too, like through. That's
exactly what it is.
The chef,
exactly. That's who it was. So like, it's really hard for for some of us who have different mindsets and levels of access to women to give those reviews and then have that just be constructive when my internal moral compass is, well, do you fit me? Or it's not like, do you fit Instagram, or like what messages you're giving off? Because a lot of these women aren't making their pages to as a attraction for men. It's just an expression of what they find important in their lives at that point. So when we look at it as if like, what message are you giving to men? That's not what their intention was. But then again, there's a bunch of them that do. They know this is a calling card. Like, this man sees I'm holding all these cakes. I'm built this way, and I like to have a good time, and I'm clearly single because I'm out here advertising everything. Like, please come give me a reason to put some clothes on and make my page private. So you do have those types, but then you have the other ones who like got 2 posts, and then I didn't know you couldn't tell her. Like, I didn't even say it. I just skipped it. I didn't know that I could have told her to get your fake page. I'm glad you paid the money, but this is done. Like,
but what about the one that said that she was a life coach, but you didn't see her coaching anything?
Nothing, bro. Like, how you a life coach? Your page reviewed by a dating coach. That's ass backwards to me.
It is.
Wait, you're a life coach in what?
Like, one of the girls was a life coach, and then like on her page, it wasn't shit about life coaching. It was just like, it was like stuff and like funny things and like inspirational stuff. Like 3 months ago, she was.
I think I put a review saying that was off-putting.
You can tell her entire content. And dude broke her heart, and now she posted like all the "was here today, maybe be gone tomorrow, don't get attached." All of those "woe is me, Justin the boy" ass memes, but she a life coach.
Willie's still cooking, man, but he logical.
Okay.
But I must say. Like,
so what's the final verdict then? So do we get rid of it
I got.
for the people that they don't find attractive? Because when I posted Girl, there were like 50 million comments today.
Hey, Yancy.
Girl from
I
Chicago?
think I might be the only outlier that like doesn't think about it from a trend.
I think so.
Because like I'm like, because I'm doing this as a favor to a friend. Like, you asked me to do this. I see you as a friend because we go back. And I'm like, let me do this favor for her. It doesn't matter if I'm attracted to her or not. But through that process, I'm thinking, how could she appeal to men who might like her?
Right.
That are,
there you go.
Yeah.
How can she appeal to others?
Okay, I have one more solution.
From that mindset instead of a selfish mindset of how can I get her to appeal to me? No. You got to let people be people. You know what I'm saying?
Yancy, I got it. Okay, so this is what you do. You keep on doing the reviews. If you pare it down to 2 reviews a day, as opposed to 3, and after a certain hour, I would probably say like maybe 3 or like, let's say maybe after like business hours, so let's say 5 o'clock, you should go and ask those dudes, hey, did you vote yet? Yes or no? Don't ask you're going to. But if you do those 2 things, hello?
You should also ask the women what type of men, like maybe show them all the men in there. Show them a guy, like, do you want him to review your page? Because you want to make sure they get the most bang for their buck.
You look all flustered. You all right?
No.
I'm just saying, like, because think about it. No disrespect.
I'm going to start singing again. I'll call
no disrespect to anybody who, like, my perfect example, interracial. If I was getting my page reviewed by a bunch of, like, non-melanated women, I would not care what none of them said because that's not my target audience.
True.
Well, look, I would say this. Even the one that we all like, I liked it because she had everything so balanced throughout, that actually told the story. about her. It told a story about her life.
She had a color scheme. She had the captions down.
She actually did it in the profile. It wasn't about her being cute. It wasn't about her. You know, I went and said, okay, these are the 5 things that I look for inside of a profile, right? And I said, this is just about the things that a guy would actually look for. And her profile told a story about her, and it was so well done. I said, good Lord. It literally would make you say, look, can I take you out, please?
Can I take
I know what
you
I'm talking about. I put a 10 out of 10 on it.
Yeah, they were like, use this one as a guide, which this is a great time to plug my class tomorrow. Thursday night, I am teaching a class on what you need to do to make your profile stand out in a good way. So if you want to know a summary of everything the guy said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I will break it down and get specific and give you examples. I'll show you what to do and what not to do for just a low price.
I'm waiting for the link. I'm waiting for the link.
Go to the link in my story on Instagram. You have less than 24 hours to get your seat and sign up now. If you haven't taken a Zoom course with me, you are missing out. Thank you. Back to our scheduled program.
Don't put everything on the internet. Like if you thick up top, just show half, just show one. We know what the other one look like. Like you don't have to show us everything on your page. Like just like give us an idea. Like we know one of the things that I admire about the page that Isaac was talking about was like that woman, the way she was dressed, but like she had like a theme. You could see that she was consistent in the way she kept herself.
Mm-hmm.
She was consistent in the way that she presented herself. And then she was also intentional about how she expressed herself in her content. And that's why that one page is so memorable. You know what I'm saying?
The unicorn.
Yeah, because then the other pages tend to be the ones that are the singles, I guess. Because that's the ones like that. Every time you post a tough one for singles, I just tell my friends. I'm like, hey, I'm D Wade, y'all LeBron, here you go. Like, I don't know who this lady is, but my girl, she's a dating coach, and she has a whole platform, and she just presented her to all of her followers, and she paid to be seen. So,
see her.
Listen, I'm telling you, I know 2 people that have been on dates with people from your profiles, and
I get the updates. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's one of them now. They're in St. Lucia. So yeah, like I know it's there's some stuff going on.
I mean, I don't.
Figure it out. Okay.
Look, I don't share everything, but thank you, Willie. I'm just saying. Things happen. I'm telling y'all. My Facebook group, I keep saying this, 4 marriages came out of it. So it's a thing. It's a thing. Y'all gotta put it out there. And you never know. But yes.
Yancy can always be a good luck charm if you let her.
I just can't wait for the first, Yancy baby. That's going to be so dope.
Oh my Lord. There's been plenty of Yancy playing bees. So I am fairly certain that you are definitely doing the Lord's work when it comes to almost
100%.
Hey, Yancy, for all we know, Yancy could be saving the human population from the stupid agenda that the government's putting out here.
I cannot. Y'all, so
find out you're a government plant trying to go ahead and trying to secretly undo the effects of feminism, food stamps, and the child support system against the black man. Let us find out. Let us find out. Whoever sponsors you is who I'm gonna vote for.
Oh my God.
Yes. Are they libertarian, or are they Republican, or are they Democrat?
They probably an alien, because I don't believe either one of them people are gonna do none of what we just talked about.
Facts. They're probably part of Kanye's birthday party, for all we know.
Yes.
So I would love, because I get the stories, y'all. Men slide in my DM and tell me stories. Women slide in my DM and give me stories. I would absolutely love to help people if they hit a snag. It's if they show toxic behavior, stuff like that, then don't worry about it. But there's like miscommunication, or you can't read the other person. I would love to help. I would love to connect people, because I think sometimes people need a little bit of training wheels. Like, this is what you don't do. I had a guy do something super off-putting to the woman. Him, unbeknownst to me, she had already reached out to me. Then he reached out to me for advice, and I was able to guide him. And it looks like they reconnected now and are trying to figure things out. So, if you hit a snag, don't hesitate. Now, if we start getting like in the hundreds, and I'm not gonna be able to help everyone individually, but like you said, I'm all about black love. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, don't judge me because I don't have a ton of melanin. Okay, I'm melanated more on the inside. So
if you said the N word, none of us would be like.
Yeah.
So I think that you're good.
I thought I was darker than I was until my kids told me, and I was hurt. I used to call myself milk choc, and they were like, no, you're not really milk.
You're pretty brown skinned.
Somebody called me a waffle colored Negro.
You're like a light. You're a lighter shade.
I didn't appreciate that, and it was my son, so I don't even. As a matter of fact,
not your point.
Yeah.
Be all the kids.
It be on people.
It be your own kids. They do. Look, I just found out I'm like 36% Nigerian according to my ancestry, whatever. So technically, I should be. You know what I'm saying? I got some extra melanin somewhere. I think I don't know where it's gonna come.
I just stick to one drop. Because if I were walking around talking about I'm Caucasian, people would be like, "What the?" I am one drop. I'm black. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Period.
Yeah, 60 years ago, that'd have been a problem.
That part. Absolutely.
Hey, at least you could sneak into KKK meetings with that.
Grandfather then.
So I gotta say, big shout out. I know we've been joking and laughing and whatnot, but these men have put in work. They write paragraphs. I have an entire drive full of all these documents. Okay.
Who paid me?
What is that?
Somebody said just.
That's the timer. That's time for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure. Sir, don't even look down, Willie. It has been a pleasure.
No, listen, you're playing because I was about to go to cash, and I'm just messing with you. I would if you would stay around.
Look, I was about to send her a Zelle directly. I wasn't doing this super chat shit. I was about to just go straight to bank.
Look, I'm like, because you two be taking a third of it. I cannot with y'all.
Well, that's why I go Cash App. Yeah.
I did appreciate that, Cam. I did appreciate that.
Hey, I'm gonna send you some snippets of me rizzing up anime girls when I'm done here.
Oh my God, not anime girls.
Yes.
Are you home, Willie?
I like nerdy.
Are you in your home city, Dallas?
Hell no, I'm in DC.
You in DC?
Yeah, he wants to DC.
Yeah, I got 9 more months stuck here, bro.
Okay, when I get back to DC, man, we gotta meet up.
Say less. I'm at the harbor.
Oh,
Where are
no.
you, sir?
I'm at the harbor. So you can make it work.
Okay, all right then, bet. John, you know that I'm in your city until Sunday morning.
Oh, hey, go for Mexican food. Go to Haters. I'll message you. I'll message you on Instagram. Tell you where to go eat. But it's a Mexican spot. I'm gonna have them taking care of you.
Okay, all right then. Okay.
Okay, and I'm giving you. So wait, let me send this really quick. Okay, guys. So here's what I'm gonna do. For those of you who sent something, greatly appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate it. If it wasn't almost midnight, I would keep going. Here's what I will do. I will do another one of these next weekend. If you guys, or next week, I should say. If you guys are interested, let me not put my. Okay, so possibly. Oh no, that's the Yonsternation. Okay, it's probably gonna have to be on the 3rd. I'll just announce it. How about that? We'll do it again if you guys want to have it again. This was awesome. This is fun. Yeah, we'll just say that. Let me not commit because I forgot. So next week, we'll just do the announcements in-house. Men, next week is Yonsternation. It is the town hall. That is private. That is off, like it's online, but it's not broadcast. And I'm considering the last little bit of it, letting some of the silver patrons in so the ladies can come in. If you guys vote and you agree to do that. So that's the private Zoom. So if the guys agree, we might let the ladies in and they can ask questions. I know some ladies are shy to be on YouTube. But that's happening either way next Wednesday. So don't forget, mark your calendars. And that is, I don't have the time written down to look at my notes. But that's next Wednesday, okay? So shout out to everybody. Thank you for everybody who donated and gave something. I really do appreciate it. If y'all want to support the platform, you can always send a little blessing via Cash App to pay Yancy, and I will give you a public shout out. And if you want to subscribe to Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/Yancy, and you get all of the tea. Okay? All right, y'all. I need to go to bed. I got reviews I have to post in the morning. It takes me 20 minutes, by the way, to do the setup every single morning. 20 minutes to put everything up. So
and I got to be to work at 7 a.m. So
y'all are dedicated. All right, y'all. You're gonna get this good graphic on the way out because we had so much drama on the way in. Thank you, guys. Have a beautiful night. I will see you next time.
I'll sponsor 10 more for the next town hall.
You said what?
I said I'll sponsor 10 more for the next town hall.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the Zoom mingle? Town halls for the guys.
Yeah, there you go, that.
Y'all, he is sponsoring 10 spots. You heard it here. He is sponsoring 10 spots on the Zoom mingle. So if someone is not a patron, you will still get to come to the party. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that. Y'all really wilding, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Like this.
Oh, my God. All right, y'all. Good night. Yeah, she said we need more men. So bring the menses, y'all. Bring the menses.
Yancy, I'm sending clips of my rizzling.
Oh, Lord.